Welcome to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode number 304. So, on this day, we are recording again, because yesterday we tried to record, but there was some stuff that popped up. But nonetheless, we are here, and the stuff that popped up is no longer popped. However, forgive us if we get mildly confused.
Yeah.
Because we are effectively reliving time right now.
Yes, there's an order to things, and the canon events must happen.
Yes.
Miguel O'Hara is threatening to beat me right now, off screen.
Oh. So, Ati.
Yes.
Have you done anything for channel?
Well then, there actually have been developments since yesterday, so...
Oh!
Yeah. So for one, next video coming out first week of December, it's gonna be about a game that disappointed me. That's pretty much all you need to know. It's, you know...
Need you more?
Yeah. It's one of those things where, like, I don't really review games that I don't like. Not because... not because I like every game I play, but because or whatever, but because usually if I dislike a game enough, then I will just cease playing it during the first playthrough, and I don't really tend to review games after my first playthrough, because I'm not recording my first playthrough. And then the other thing is that, like, I can't afford to buy just random ass games, so the games I actually buy myself tend to be games that I will probably enjoy. But anyway, yeah. So this is one of the cases where I am reviewing a game that I technically don't like, and
all right,
I'm very angry in the video. Well, I'm not really. I don't know, because I don't know if my performance in the narration is angry particularly, but while I was writing the script, I was pretty angry in my disappointment, just because, like, you know, the waste of time. Anyway, yeah, so then before that, I'm trying to rush out a Unity 2 video. So
I see.
The Under Night Invert 2 Sis Celeste beta is ongoing right now as we speak.
Oh, yes it is.
And I saw that. I downloaded the beta, and I immediately started recording. I just went, hey, I can make a let's talk about it from this. So we'll do that.
All right.
Because, you know, the let's talk about are good because I can speak about games that I'm in the beta of. They're also good because it gets eyes on my channel. But it's a game that hasn't come out yet, so hey, fuck it. Clicks.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll give a quick summary here, I guess. Which is that if you liked Uni 1, you will like Uni 2. And if you didn't like Uni 1, you won't like Uni 2 either. That's pretty much it.
Oh no! Why can't everybody like it?
Because there's no Neko arc.
Damn.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out. Oh shit! Right, I remember. So I tried to end my videos with a joke now, because yeah, it's
not humor.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be just like a somewhat non sequitur, you know, just to have a cutoff effect, because the way I do the way I have the card set up at the end is that the video cuts out more or less, but there's a bit of a build up before that with the music, and it you know, it really punctuates the joke. If it's cut off right after the joke. So I'm trying to end the videos with jokes. So I just went, hey, when are they adding Jubei? Fucking Uni.
Oh! When the stars grow cold.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a picture of it. They gave Elfeld a wing quote where she's like, alright, this is a cool game for French bread, but you lied about things. You haven't taken over BlazBlue yet, have you?
Yeah, I saw that. People were talking about how apparently when Uni first came out, they the lead director dude said they were going to beat BlazBlue.
No, it's not even when it came out. When they were trying to find help on how to like make and publish fighting games, the mission statement was, "We want to beat BlazBlue."
So they got picked up by the publisher of BlazBlue.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Hey, Uni guy seems a little bit odd, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I saw a stream where he talked about crossplay. And he said, and I quote, "We heard about crossplay. It's very important. The thing is, crossplay costs a lot of money. We have no money."
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah. And like I'm gonna check if I can find a better thing of it, clip of it than I watched it with. Because I want to include it in the Let's Talk About video, because the way the guy raised the information is very good.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with that. Then, I am working on a third review, a proper one. That's, who knows when it will come out. It's probably gonna be like January. If I can't delay it longer, it's like, I'm not delaying making it longer. It's just when it's gonna be done, I don't know when it will come out. So. So yeah, that. Then. I guess one thing to note, one last thing, is the second channel will be getting videos as well, like proper videos, not just the clips. Which I'm pretty sure the clips have dried up for now. But yeah, I've wanted to start recording gameplay alone as well. I have already done this for one session. Here's a problem. That video is coming out next October. So
yeah.
Because I was in the mood to play Halloween games, but if I'm playing Halloween games, then I'm gonna release it during Halloween. Halloween just passed. Fuck it.
Why not upload it twice?
Because then YouTube cracks down on me.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Fascist.
So yeah, while I was just like thinking about doing that recording session, I went, all right, how do we do this? All right, it's gonna come out in 2024 during October, and then I just do the same thing, because I did the thing I did will change by the time that actual Halloween comes around. So I figured, hey, I'll record it now, have my fun, upload that. It will come out during October. Then when we get closer to October, I can record a second episode of it, and I'll just upload that next October as well. Fuck it.
Oh.
So that I don't know what else that will actually happen. I either normally ordering October, I will probably like look into getting the Fatal Frame games because I like them, even if they're the better ones. Now the remakes are the first one, which is good, and like the Wii U one, which I believe is the Intense Baby one, but I don't know.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, I say it's the Incest Baby one. It's the one where you play as the Incest Baby. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I wish Fatal Frame stopped at 2.
Yeah.
They just kept releasing 2 with graphical upgrades.
Fuck it, we're done.
Yeah. But yeah, I might get those just because like I like those games, and yeah. And also I haven't played any of them, so
yeah.
Might want to at some point. But yeah, I don't know what I would actually do like gameplay of, because I have a ton of games downloaded on my PS4 as a backlog to, make reviews on, which means I've already beat those games. What the fuck am I supposed to talk about here? Like, there's only like there's a lot of games where I've played through them once already, but I'm not like experienced enough where I'm like with like Yakuza or Assassin's Creed or Contra, where I can just be like, hey, here's this tidbit or whatever. Here's this anecdote from one of my other playthroughs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's all of that, I guess. Your channel.
Let's see, on my channel, anticipate for this coming week. Well, for one thing, in general, anticipate more Conan Exiles. I have such a tremendous backlog of it going up. And other than that, I actually intend to record a video right after this podcast is done. They just announced a major Total War Warhammer update. I have not got to actually read the patch notes, but I intend to record that, and if there's anything worth talking about, I'll upload the recording. If there's nothing worth talking about, I won't upload shit. Deal with it. Other than that, it is anyone's guess what will go up on the video this week, because Conan's the only thing that I have preloaded. Everything else is going to be as I record it, it goes up. If I record it, it goes up. So, gotta just throw up my hands. And for the group channel, I failed to roll the R's there. Jesus. I got whiter for a second. Okay, let's see. I am popping on over to the Devolution channel to go ahead and check what we have loaded up there. And are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, for some reason YouTube is loading slowly. Sorry about this. And just one more second. At last, there we go. There's the part of the schedule coming up. So, tomorrow, or well, no, not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, on Wednesday, November 22nd, Melt You Blood Actress Again, Part 3. On November 23rd, Thursday, a short. On November 24th, Friday, Street Fighter Part 3. I forget, did we get Pink in for Street Fighter 3 at some point?
Yes.
Huh. That might be the one where we did. And that is the week.
Alright. Every week we inch closer to JoJo.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, I believe JoJo is the last video of this year and the first video of next year.
Uh-oh.
So...
around the time that the group channel hits JoJo is when I'm going to be when my channel hits Endless Legend.
Nah.
Yeah. It's been a grand old time.
Yeah. Well then, it just hit me that we forgot to discuss the topic.
Yes. Well, we decided one yesterday, so we could go with that.
But if you still remember it, then sure.
What game have you put in the most work for it to just be an absolute disappointment once you got to the end? So, do you want me to buy you some time by going ahead and giving my answer?
Sure.
For me, this is the fucking classic. Goddamn fucking time splitters in Homefront.
Alright.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's never gonna hurt more than that. That Homefront The Revolution, a very poopy game. The definition of just pump it out, whatever the fuck, it's an FPS. These things sell just by nature. And I had no intention to ever fucking touch it. But I heard it's got Time Splitters 2 in it, and they only let you play the first 2 levels. But I had heard that if you put in some cheat code from the original game, that it still worked and would unlock all the levels. And I got that far, and I forget even what happened. Like, it was a soul-draining 6 hours of speed running that fucking game. The entirety of the proper Homefront Revolution is a blur in my mind. I can recall driving a dirt bike through, like, ravaged city streets, and that's it. Other than that, it was a bland fucking shooter where even though it wasn't an RPG, the enemies nonetheless still kind of felt bullet spongy. It was poop. It was no good. And once I got to the Time Splitter section, my memory serves that it was like not a very good emulator of Time Splitters 2. And it wasn't, part of the thing was just like, okay, can I play Time Splitters 2 in 4K? And if memory serves, the answer was at least somewhat no. And I was just sitting there like, why are there some things that can only work if you pirate?
Yeah.
Why are we this way?
Because money go burr. Make more money.
Oh,
like, you know, I make a joke. Genuinely, I feel that this is the thing of like, they want to save money on making a quality product, but then they make a shit quality product which tanks their IP, and then that makes less money. So like, make money now, I guess.
Jesus Christ. There's another example that's popped in my head as well. You know what that is?
What?
Injustice fucking 2.
Ah.
I put in so much work for some fucking reason. I put in so much work to unlock like all the legendary yellow level gears for everybody. And in the end, I wound up like kind of just walking away from the game for a few years, come back, and I'm just sitting there like, this is kind of a bad fighting game. I don't like it. I have all the legendary gears, but I mean, for one thing, they're all hideous. But also, the game just feels bad.
Yep.
Yeah. So, womp womp, as Pink would put it.
Let's see. For me, I mean, there's the bingo free space, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I guess.
Yeah.
Which like you'd be surprised that it didn't come to me immediately. But yeah, that game was a whole lot of nothing for a long time. But then I guess, like, you know, it depends on how much, or, you know, to what extent you mean, like, you know, feeling like it wasn't worth the time put in. Because, like, Street Fighter 6 is there for me right now, just because, like, according to the PlayStation app, I had, like, 64 hours in it. And I turned the game on, and I do the Wolverine meme, where he's stroking the image of Akuma.
Yeah, I think... Well, I think that I could pop up on Street Fighter 6 right now and have a good time. But I'll say that at least partly, like, I'm kind of just hanging out until Akuma. Like, I'm also kind of in the Akuma waiting room. Well, I'm not. I'm more so in the Ed and Cody? Why did I say Cody? White people. No, I'm more so in the Ed waiting room just because I'm curious, like, okay, will they make Ed fun this time? But I'm also very much in the Akuma waiting room. I mean, Akuma in particular, like they've left the two most interesting ones out of the DLC for last.
Yep.
Because Rashid, I think we all were like, well, honestly, Street Fighter's favorite. Rashid was one of the less shit guys in Street Fighter 5.
No.
Give him a few more extra. Okay, we disagree on that.
Yeah.
But give him a few more extra moves and he can work. And the answer was yes, that was totally correct. Give Rashid a few more moves and congrats. He's now a much more enjoyable character. Aki, it was just. I mean, obviously, I was never in the space of giving a shit because I didn't like Fong. I've heard, does she have a command grab?
Yes.
I may have to give Aki a try.
Aki is a lot of fun. Aki is the stance switching character. I guess
I like stance switches.
She has a command grab out of her stance switch. The stance switch is slithering on the ground like a snake.
Oh, is it the one where she's crawling on her belly or on her back?
On her belly, I think, but I forget.
Okay, because Marisa also has a command grab out of stance, and that command grab is fantastic. You just have to get the opponent to give you a little bit of time for the startup.
Yeah, that's pretty much the thing.
Which, if there's any character in the game who's good at forcing people to block, it's fucking Marisa. So yeah.
Yeah. Aki, I also really liked Aki because she felt like who am I thinking of? I forget. I guess Doctrine Dark a bit. Like it's like if you gave Doctrine Dark the Gil like elemental system.
I was also noticing Doctrine Dark. They've got the same poison line gimmick, don't they? Well, Doctrine Dark, the wire he throws at you isn't poisonous; it's explosive, but still.
Yes. And yeah, the poison line works interesting because when you first throw it at people and they don't block it, it poisons them. And the second you hit them with it, it pops them up, which means big combo.
Ooh!
So yeah, I liked Aki quite a bit.
Did I also see correctly that she's got a bunch of slow fireballs?
Yes.
I love slow fireballs. I may have to give Aki a shot.
Yeah, I already have. Whenever the new DLC characters come out, I open Street Fighter 6. I spend one of those tokens. I go through the arcade mode 3 times, and then my token runs out.
Other than seeing some gameplay footage of her, I've generally tried to avoid Aki just on sheer basis of Fong.
Yeah, she's nothing like Fong aside from the story, more or less.
That's good to hear. That's a relief.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with Aki. I had a lot of fun with Rashid. But once again, like every time I turn the game on, I'm just like, you know, this is where this is where I put my Akuma. If I had one,
yeah, my boy, my sweet boy, where is he?
And yeah, that's pretty much my thing with Street Fighter 6. Like I said in the review, it's a good base. I think it could be elaborated on during the years a lot, but you know that's gonna happen anyway. But there's something that is missing. That there's a large Akuma shaped hole in the Street Fighter 6 for me.
Yeah.
As of the moment.
Yeah. There will be an Akuma here. It's gone now.
Yeah. And then let's see what like greater disappointments have there been. Where I like spent a lot of time for basically nothing. Let me open up my game library. I guess Cuphead, you could argue, just because like I basically played through the game and then I went, I don't like this.
Yeah. Well, you did the fucking SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs playing golf thing, of him playing. He's about to tee up, then he just stops and goes, "Wait, I hate golf."
But yeah, because like you know, once again to reiterate my faults with that game, it's very based on like Mega Man, and I don't like Mega Man, and that's honestly pretty much it. I mean, I guess it's not the same thing, but would you count me disliking God of War 4 more every time I play through it?
That's a difficult one. I think that's different. I think that's a whole nother question of what's a game you really enjoyed but did not stand up to replays.
Yeah. Because I thought it was great on the first playthrough, and then every time I play through it since, it's just like, all right, this is worse. I guess I don't know, because I don't really have that many like out and out disappointments. I don't really go into a game I don't usually go into a game thinking of like one thing that I want out of it. The one time that I did that was Ghost of Tsushima, and that paid off. So
yeah. I was also kind of thinking, like, what's a reward that the game offered? And it's like, oh, I want that. And it was a ton of work, and you got it. And you're like, actually, this is not really. It's not worth it.
That's any side quest in the Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I feel like that could be one, like RPGs, like, oh, I want that move. I want to learn that skill on this character. Oh, it actually kind of just stinks.
Yep, alright, so I'm playing Yakuza 7, which I'm saying it like this because people listening wouldn't notice. But I am playing Yakuza 7 right now. And Yakuza 7 has the whole Dragon Quest like job system and all that because they licensed that shit out because Kasuga is delusional, and there is actively a discouragement from using the job system because
I see.
Because how the job system works is if you get into a fight and you win the fight, you gain X amount of experience that it goes towards your normal experience, and you have X amount of experience that goes towards your job experience. The more experience you are in a job, the better the stats you have, and the more moves you have. Why the fuck would I change my job if I have a level 26 job and my other jobs are level 9 or level 1? Then, like even though I have gear for the other jobs, I don't have moves, I don't have the stat upgrades, like I'm just overall just a worse version.
Can you not like just like find spots to grind up the other jobs?
No. The game has like a lot of random encounters, but they give no experience. And
what?
Yeah. Well, they give experience, but it's practically no experience because the like jobs, I believe they take like 1,000 experience to level up at first, and they increase exponentially with each level up. One random encounter, I'm in the late game, one random encounter gives me 900 experience.
Oh, I see. It's just that the XP sucks.
Yes. So there is one spot in the entire game that I have found where they actually give you like proper experience, where you get like 10,000 for a fight or whatever. It's the battle arena, which makes sense. Here's the thing though, battle arena is limited. There's 30 stages, and then you'll start to fuck off.
I see.
And that means that, and also, the amount of experience you gain for those encounters is fixed. So the more you go to the battle arena, the more the returns diminish. So there's less. So there's less of a reason to go to the battle arena. Similarly, yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, that makes sense.
Similarly, there was an early game dungeon, that you could go back to, but it also had scripted fights, and your experience was roughly the same. So it's the same issue.
Yeah.
So as far as I can tell, there's no real grinding spot. You're just supposed to level up. How? I don't know.
Experience from the ether.
Yes. Buy the experience boost, I guess. For real money.
Really?
I think that's a thing. Let me check.
That doesn't sound Yakuza, but I could be wrong.
Oh, it's not Yakuza anymore. It's like a dragon.
Well, yes, I know.
Which, like, I feel like it's one of those things where, like, before they switched it, I said that Like a Dragon is a better name, and it is a better name. I will also, just out of like being used to it, I will not refer to it as Like a Dragon. It's just Yakuza.
Well, they also renamed it to Like a Dragon when they made the changes you didn't like.
Yeah. Okay.
That one strikes me as like one of the. It's like you know those people that. Okay, well, you probably don't so much know these people; they're not so relevant for you. But some people call Attack on Titan. Yes, and it's just like bleh. Like, by all means, don't get me wrong. Attack on Titan is a terrifically awkward name. But Jesus Christ!
I mean, the argument that I've heard for using Shingeki no Kyojin instead of Attack on Titan is because Shingeki no Kyojin is supposed to be like a pun. It has like a double meaning that is relevant to the story, and Attack on Titan tries to do the same thing but doesn't. Which, like, it's one of those things where, like, I I get it and don't at the same time because, like, you know, the English name is fine for Attack on Titan as far as I can tell, but at the same time I also refer to Case Closed as Conan the Detective because that's its name. Fuck you. So. Sometimes there are just localized names that rub you the wrong way. So. But it does make it hard to discern which series people are talking about sometimes, because it's like, all right, so they're talking about like Shingeki no Kyojin or Jujutsu Kaisen or
yeah.
And the best thing is, like, I know these series' names. I don't know. Like, technically, I know which series these are by name. I have never seen them, and I don't plan to. So. Like, I've only heard, pretty much only heard bad things about both Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. So.
I watched the first season of Attack on Titan and I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, the first couple of seasons are supposed to be good. And then the ending happens.
Oh, well, sticking the landing on an ending is a very difficult thing that most writers don't.
They fucked it up twice.
Lots of series do.
What happened with the ending of Attack on Titan, as far as I'm aware, is they made an ending to it. People didn't like it. So they made it. So they went, all right, that wasn't the actual ending. We're gonna make a new one. They made a new one. It was worse.
Oh.
So, I don't know. Either which way, yeah, the idea... Like, I suppose my thing with Yakuza is the inverse, though. Where, like, I'm using the localized title just because that's what I'm used to. Like, whenever people call it Like a Dragon, I don't get... Well, that depends. Sometimes I do get triggered. It depends on how angry I am by default. But like, it's no war off my back or whatever the saying is. But, at some point I will, like, at some point if the changes stick so much, I am just going to start referring to the series as Ryuga Gotoku, just to fuck with people. Because I am that petty. Like, I don't know, you might have noticed the same thing happening in the Street Fighter review, where I said that they brought in alpha counters from the Zero series.
Yeah.
Everyone is wrong.
Well, that's one of those ones where if someone hears it, they'll make a comment, right?
Yeah.
And that drives up engagement. You fools.
But the thing is, like, that's factually correct. Zero counters are part of the Zero series, and alpha counters are part of the Alpha series because they're the same thing. So alpha counters are part of the Zero series.
Yes.
And like, these are the things where, like, because I have seen the whole thing with mispronounce like one thing for people to correct you or whatever. Like, these are the things that I like better, where it's just like, technically I am correct.
Yeah.
It's just other people might not know that I am correct. Same as referring to Yakuza as Ryuga Gotoku. Like, that's just the Japanese name. That is literally like a dragon in Japanese. So, like,
they can't stop you.
Yes.
They can try. They will fail.
I'll only stop.
And they will die.
I'll only stop.
And they will die. Oh, shit.
I'll only stop once Kazuma Kiryu knocks on my door with a cease and desist.
And be careful, that might happen.
I mean, if it's the actual voice actor of Kiryu in a full Kiryu cosplay, then...
Alternatively, he might show up with a briefcase full of cash, which I think is pretty acceptable for everyone.
Yes. I've come to make an offer with cash.
Ooh! All right. How did we get here?
Disappointments.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to bring out of this. So yes, spending a lot of time with disappointments, trying to fucking level up. Because a lot of
Oh
times,
no!
yeah, in Yakuza 7, it feels like it depends on what you do, I guess. But like for me, even while leveling, it's just like I'm trying to get my job level to level 28 because that's when you get the last move upgrade, and after that, if it's just stat boosts, and like stat boosts are nice. They are partially the reason I don't switch jobs. At the same time, the moves carry over between jobs, and you can see where I'm going.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get the like basic jobs for most of the characters up to level 28, and then I'll switch them off to other jobs, and they will have the late game weapons and shit ass stats. And I feel like there's oh yeah, I guess another one from Yakuza 7 that's less so like it's less disappointing is the side game, because you know how there's always the side game where you like manage a cabaret club or something.
Yeah.
In this one, you like run a company, but not the way that Kiryu did. In this one, you actually have to like pay to upgrade shit.
See.
You can just buy buildings.
It's not just money, free money printer.
Yeah. And like the stuff that you unlock once you beat it is let me see if I can remember. I think it's just money, honestly. Which, like, you know, it's nice in the early game, which I grinded out the mode in the early game. You're not supposed to do that. The game, like the mode was obviously not built to be beat the way that I did it. Because you're supposed to, like, you know, you're supposed to scout people on the streets and shit and get like better workers. And instead, I just got like I beat all of the side missions that I could find for like the freebies, and I just went in with those people, and eventually just suffered my way to victory. And the shareholders were complaining about the company having no money every time. Because yeah,
that could be a tagline for the channel: "Suffering our way to victory."
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple of interesting moments in that the playthrough of that, because like one of the managers that you can get from side stories is this little boy. He's like 10, and he wants to make money to make sure that his mom doesn't have to work as much. He became one of my star players.
Ah.
So
okay, we've still got the thing going on of the great real estate chicken.
Funny you say that. There is a great real estate chicken. Nugget
He's back.
No, it's not Nugget. It's what is the name of the new one? I forget. It's like fucking chicken breast or something like that.
Amazing.
But yeah.
Amazing.
But yeah, like my star players are the grandma of the chick who used to own the company and who I'm helping. The chicken, the family chicken. This one boy. those are my star players. But yeah.
Amazing.
But this so sometimes you have to maximize profit. The boy was one of my best workers. He had a very well-rounded stats. He could manage anything. I bought a new property, and to maximize the profits of the property, I had to put the boy in as a manager. It was a brothel.
Oh no. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Since then, the company has switched over to using like or having like landmarks. That most of the things that we work in, because that's what makes the most money. But yeah, and then I guess yeah.
I have nothing. God help us all.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad I did that kid's side mission because he had the good stats, like I said. There's also these parts where you have to do the shareholder meetings, and how that works is you appoint a board of people to go on stage with you, and the shareholders ask things, and you have to reply with the appropriate person, and it's a battle. Like the arguments take down each other's lives more or less.
I see.
This boy deals all of the damage. Like, I unlocked one guy who could out damage him. After I beat the game mode. He's this buff. He's this buff masked wrestler guy in a tuxedo.
That's fucking great.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, my board of directors that come with me to talk to the shareholders, or the chick that hired me, or her as her boss, pretty much. Her grandma, this one kid, random ass fucking masked wrestler in a tuxedo,
and a chicken.
No, the chicken is not on board because I don't think it can argue well.
Oh, I wouldn't argue with a chicken.
But yeah, but there's these points that you have to spend to get your people to argue, and the chicken, I think, costs above 10. And I couldn't fit into the deficit or whatever. Like, it costs too much money to have this chicken argue with people. I can only afford the old woman, her granddaughter, the masked wrestler, or the kid. Which, I mean, once again, works out because the kid and the masked wrestler cost very little, and they deal the most damage out of all of the people who work for me.
Sounds like it works out then.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, once again, like, the disappointment there was mostly just, going through all of that and then finding out, hey, like, you have like 15 million in your bank account now. Which is cool, I guess, but I don't have anything to spend it on. I've already bought all of the, like, whatchamacallit, the gear. And like, okay, what now? Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else if there's other games that I've spent a lot of time on and got disappointed by, or just random items like that.
Okay, I don't think either of us did it, but could you imagine the first person to beat the last challenge in Mortal Kombat 9's weird challenge mode?
What was the reward?
The last challenge, after 299 other challenges, the last challenge was beat Goro, Kintaro, Melina, and Shao Kahn all on one life, one round, one health bar. And this is Mortal Kombat 9, so Shao Kahn is no fucking pussy in that game. And also, I believe it's put on the hardest difficulty, though I could be wrong. In which case, Melina is actually the biggest threat out of the four. Because she's not got a small, limited boss moveset. She's got a rather large player character moveset, which, when used by an AI, is not too shabby.
Yeah.
If you get through all that and beat all four of them on one life bar, your reward... mostly naked Melina with bandage strapped over her nipples and her vagina.
Depending on who beat that, they might have liked that, I guess.
Mortal Kombat 9 was when Melina was easily at her ugliest, so I don't know.
Desperate people are desperate, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It's especially funny because MK9 came right before MKX, which was notoriously the one where they redesigned Melina to be actually quite pretty. So the contrast was something. Weird shit.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing that Ed Boon made a big deal about, like, oh, you guys are gonna want to finish the challenge mode. You're gonna really like the reward at the end, and that was it.
All right, Ed.
Yeah. You do you, Ed. All right.
Oh, I know. Lords of the Fallen. The whole game.
Okay, well, was that a disappointment? I thought you went in knowing that would suck.
I didn't know how much it would. Like, I knew that it was bad, but I didn't think that I would have to respect my character like right before the last boss, because they just built the boss to be fought one way and one way only.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that game.
Yeah. I can't wait for people to be like, hey, Lords of the Fallen has always been good because the new one is good, I guess. I don't know.
I don't understand how it's getting a new one. And like a decade after the first.
But it's not a new one, it's a remake. Or a reboot, rather.
Well, still. What the fuck?
I don't know. But yeah, like I'm already expecting the cyberpunk effect of like, hey, this other thing that related to it was good, I guess. So that thing has always been good.
Oh. Yeah. Next time you see Mike, he's been dumping a lot of time into cyberpunk, so he's that's become one of his new favorite things to talk about. Just giving you a fair warning.
I mean, I can just quote Shrimp Lady quotes at him for like an hour.
Shrimp Lady, help me here.
One of the vendors. She became a meme.
Oh, I see.
Because she would keep looking at the player character and she was invincible. She would keep looking at the player character no matter how far you went. And be in the dialogue unless you cut it off. And if you just if you just walked around and just like threw grenades at her and shit like that, she would stand there in fire, just going, "Come back, please."
Shrimp?
No. We would ask, this shrimp fresh, and then she'd go, they're from the pressed Aquaform in Night City. We would ask, Aquaform, what do you think? From Pacifica? That shit from the sea no good, makes you sick. Something like that.
So this is an advanced meme.
Yeah.
I see.
Like one guy. After allegedly she's been fixed. To not glitch out and do this. One guy was near the end of the game, so they just they zombified her, I guess. She was both dead and alive. Bless you. She was both dead and alive at the same time as far as the game was concerned. So she could be picked up like a corpse, but she could speak like she was living.
Oh, what the fuck?
So the guy put her into the trunk of his car and just beat the final mission with her present.
Oh, good lord.
So yeah. Like, I remember, there was this speaking, like, you know, because Cyberpunk has Half-Life cutscenes where people just talk at you and then you can walk around, and there's also photo mode where you can pose your character separately from everything that's going on. So if memory serves, he did a picture where his character is like sitting balls first next to the mission guy.
Okay, when you say balls first, I'm aware this game has real nudity. So do you mean literally balls first? He got his dick out to pose.
I mean, he had streamer mode on, so yes, but no.
Oh, okay.
But yes,
I see, yes.
he would have had his dick out. Yes, like right under the guy's nose, just like like doing the Hurricane Rana pose, more or less, but without the uplift. And in the background, the shrimp lady is just standing there menacingly, like right behind them.
Do they need help?
The guy or the shrimp lady?
You know,
so yeah. Yeah, like Cyberpunk, you know, for me it's like whatever. I don't really care for the anime. I found the game funny when it was shit, and now that it's fixed, I think I think well okay. You know, they should have released it this way, and that's pretty much my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really
take.
Yeah. Like other than that, I don't really care for it. I just think that the revisionist history of like it's always been good is dumb.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think. Ideally, it will go down in history. Not that it was incredible from the jump, but that it, was a example of a game where. Well, honestly, it's funny for Mike to be really loving it because the game is almost kind of an opposite to his, like, the philosophy Mike has sometimes espoused of updates are bad for video games because it encourages devs to release bad games. Of like, well, the game had been delayed 30 fucking times. It was going to release like this, regardless of whether or not updates were a thing. So the updates in this case were definitely quite good.
I mean,
I'm not sure if Mike would say that again nowadays, though, after he's put in so much time with Dead by Daylight, because that game would not exist in the form it's in without 1,000 updates.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't know what Mike thinks about this, but like my first immediate rebuttal to that would just be, well, I didn't play the first version, so obviously that never existed, which is false, but people do think that way. But yeah, that sort of thinking is also why I made the why I uploaded the Street Fighter 6 review as like launch version, because this shit will get outdated in a year. Like I'm gonna have to make a review in like fucking 2 months to just be like, hey, Akuma released.
Yeah.
Like just fucking call it Akuma release version. I don't know.
Yeah.
Although now that we're on this topic, I guess, or similar topics, I guess if you want, we could also briefly hit the like the patch ideology or whatever, because like Cyberpunk and other single player games update whenever they want, but live service games. Yeah.
Oh, do you want to talk about the multiplayer patch, the entire opposite strategies between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter?
I suppose. What is Mortal Kombat? I don't think I've heard about it.
Generally much more rapid. It's getting into an issue. So when they launched, Cyrax Cameo was generally believed to be the strongest because he has a move that everybody calls the Cyrax Copter, which is where he comes on screen and he starts spinning and he flies away, like the old fatality in like MK3 when he'd spin on you and shred you.
Yeah.
And the way the move worked was that you could throw out a normal and then cancel it into Cyrax Copter. And if your normal hit, then Cyrax Copter would start a combo. And if it was blocked, Cyrax Copter had a shit ton of push block and would push the opponent to the other side of the screen, resetting you back to neutral without any worry. So it became a kind of turn your brain off button of just throw out normals and then Cyrax Copter, and there you go. And the other cameos are all very good. Some of them are not quite so impressive as others. Well, no, Sonya cameo is pretty distinctively kind of lame, and so is Mataro. But Cyrax was just, Cyrax... The other cameos all had something good, but none of them offered the turn-off brain button like Cyrax did.
Yeah.
And so Mortal Kombat 1, within the launch month, released a patch that made it where Cyrax Copter has a much, much longer cooldown. And there became an argument of maybe instead of nerfing Cyrax, we should have been going around and trying to buff the other cameos. And there was a particular fear, because now that Cyrax cameo has been nerfed, well, the thing about Mortal Kombat is that a lot of the online scene for Mortal Kombat is going to be made up of a lot more casuals than even Street Fighter. But even Street Fighter, from experience, at launch, everybody was playing Cammy and Jury.
Yeah.
And then after that, it very quickly became public knowledge, oh, Ken and JP are the best characters in the game. And suddenly everyone online was playing Ken and JP. And while I have not played online in a while, I would bet you anything there are a ton of Lukes now, because Luke is now being estimated to be the best character in the game. And NRS is kind of like that, but worse. Every now and then, if I'm unlucky, you'll run into a really annoying smoke that wants to do back teleport into low. But other than that, for that period of time, everyone was taking Cyrax as their cameo. And Cyrax is no longer super strong. So now everyone's taking Lao as their cameo. So the argument, the argument gets to be, if NRS intends on just always cutting the tall poppy and simply just nerfing whoever is currently viewed as being overplayed, well, they're going to eventually work their way down the whole roster until all the cameos suck. And even then, people are still going to pick whatever cameo is the most popular. So it gets to an argument there,
Yeah.
I think there, for my 2 cents, I would have said, we'll buff one of Cyrax's other moves. Nerf the turn off brain button and buff something else, right?
Yeah, keep him roughly the same place, but with different tools.
Yeah. Because that's one thing to get into is, there's a talk of, what moves are the most annoying to play against, but there's also a talk to be had of, well, some of this stuff, do we nerf or just change just simply because it's not very interesting to play or play against?
Yeah.
And my understanding is that every month, Street Fighter player base picks a new drive mechanic that they hate, so... I'm waiting until they find some way to hate overdrives, because that'd be really funny.
Wait, have you reached drive reversals yet?
I've not heard that, but again, that would be really funny. Weren't there... there is the potential there, because Alpha Counter was so defining for Alpha 2, so it could be.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess for my 2 cents, I think both MK, from what you say, and Street Fighter are kind of the absolutes that are not great.
Yeah,
because I feel like 1 year between patches is a bit too much, but doing it monthly also might be a bit too much.
Yeah,
half a year seems to me like it for major patches. Half a year would seem to be understandable.
Yeah, definitely. I think Street Fighter 6 is simultaneously an example of how 1 year between patches is a lot, but at the same time, it's a good thing that they wait between patches, because if they had patched Street Fighter 6 after a month, think about what characters would have caught the nerfs.
Yeah.
The character who would have got nerfed the hardest in Street Fighter 6 at launch would have been fucking Honda. Which is hilarious.
Or fucking Dawson.
Yeah. Uh,
But yeah, there's also the argument to be had, I think, with or against the yearly updates of like, okay, so the game released then. Well, Akuma won't be out for relatively as long as everyone else by the time that they're gonna do the major patch. How can they have enough data to know if Akuma's in a good place yet or not? You know?
Yeah. There's no, if like Akuma comes out and he's egregiously just stomps the entire competition, they can make changes. But otherwise, yeah, Akuma will probably, if he gets any touches in the last patch, they're just gonna, in the first patch, it's just gonna be small ones.
Yeah, and that's my problem with Street Fighter 6's update policy of like, you know, I get that they don't want to change things on a whim, but at the same time, it feels like there's too much of us there's too much of like that dead air, I guess, between patches to make it so like things actually feel like they're moving.
I mean, that's been a general argument with Street Fighter 6 for quite a while, is that it launched in a fantastic state, and we've still just broadly, aside from the additions of Rashid Naki, we've broadly just been in the launch state for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And of course, people keep bringing up, where the fuck are Costume 3?
Jamie drank the budget.
I love following. I love Jamie players because they are like the epitome in Street Fighter 6 of what it is so it's so over. We're so back. There's some of the stuff I love. I love people making just stupid bounce decisions they don't even think of in the moment. How many people have you said? How many people have you seen that said that Jamie should keep drink level between rounds like Manong keeps her medal level?
I haven't seen that many since launch, honestly. Like, I saw a lot of them around launch, but not since.
Yeah, it does seem to have died down. I think perhaps just because people put in more time with Jamie and specifically seeing that Jamie's monstrous at the higher drink levels. Because the issue is, how many people play as Jamie or against Jamie, and they don't know you need to get the drinks. Forget doing damage. Your goal from the jump with Jamie is get drinks. And then once you're properly crunked, now game is begin, right?
Yeah. Although it also leads to funny interactions with like Juri, for example, because as you know, I play Juri and Ken because Akuma isn't in the game yet, and Juri.
Oh god, Jamie is gonna hate Akuma.
Oh boy. But like,
Jamie, sometimes you go up against a zoner as Jamie, and it's like, oh, thank God! Gulp, 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 gulp.
And then Akuma just spawns in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Of course, there's also a question with Akuma what new moves he'll pick up, because Akuma's already got 2 fireballs. What the hell else? Is Akuma just going to... Do they get Akuma to the point where he's touch of death from a single hit, but he has moves for every playstyle?
I wish. I would love that. I don't think it's realistic, but still.
Akuma now has an SPD. Huh?
It's out of Demon Flip. He just keeps flipping after he grabs your neck.
Yeah. He's at that point he's doing the fucking he's doing the Mexican Typhoon.
Yes. Shit. Or like, okay, imagine this. Akuma has an EX Demon Flip grab. I don't know how you'd input this, but you somehow do. You input it. He does the Demon Flip. He does 2 additional flips. It ends in a DDT. You're just fucking dead.
You're getting close to giving Akuma a Canadian destroyer here.
I am.
Which, to be fair, if you had the capability to just do a flip like that, Krav Maga probably would teach. Yeah, just do a pile driver then. After hitting them in the nuts, of course. And then after you pile drive them, hit them in the nuts again. What a beautiful martial art.
Like
I gotta mention real quick.
Yeah?
In Fire Pro, I went ahead and put together a Bruce Lee character because I've been trying to work on the fictional and celebrity characters in Fire Pro if we ever want to hit that again, or if we don't, then I'm just going to have laughs with the characters anyways. But someone made an animation for Bruce Lee that's actually taken from one of his movies where he pretty well does a roll-up, a schoolboy, and then just punches you in the nuts.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That's great.
I'm trying to imagine what moves they could give to Akuma. But honestly, like, for me personally, they give like Akuma two new moves, I don't know what, and then just otherwise he's just Akuma before 5. I'm fine.
Well, Akuma's one of those ones where he's had so many goddamn moves down the years, you almost are inclined to say, just make the mixed Akuma.
I mean, like...
Which...
Yeah?
Tekken 7 came out after Street Fighter 5, right? Or at least Akuma in Tekken 7 came out after Street Fighter 5, right?
I don't know. When did... Can you look up when Street Fighter 5 released, and then I'll look up when Fatal Retribution came out?
Yes! Street Fighter VIA released in July of 2015.
Alright. Now we're waiting on my phone. This will take a while.
Yeah. I want to say Tekken 7 was 2016. The actual home version.
Yeah, the home version.
Fatal
Retribution was like a year or two earlier. Because I remember us talking, like, I remember Voldemort posting, y'all won't believe who's in Tekken. And I replied, Akuma. And then he posted the picture, and it was Akuma.
Yeah.
Because like that's like Akuma being in Tekken was one of those things where like it will never happen, because why would it? And there it is.
Yeah. All right. Next, we need let's see. Next, we need Rugal in Mortal Kombat.
Oh shit! Imagine his fatalities. Like one of them is just turning you into a statue. That's lame. But like, imagine a fatality where he just sucks the Orochi power out of you.
I imagine him turning you into a statue is his win pose if he doesn't do a fatality, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Because there's one or two characters that still kill their opponent even if you choose not to do a fatality. Rugal, if there's anyone out of the KOF roster that would fit in Mortal Kombat, it would be Rugal, you know?
Yeah. Or Rugal or Iori.
Yeah, Iori in Mortal Kombat would be fucking awesome.
Okay, so Fatal Retribution came out. Wait, that might be the home release. The home release, I guess.
Oh, Vice and Mature would both fit. Yeah.
So allegedly, Fatal Retribution came out in 2015. In February of 2015. When was Tekken, or not Tekken, Street Fighter 5 again?
July of 2015, so earlier.
All right.
That's wild. So Akuma had new shit in Tekken 7 that he did not get in any Street Fighter game.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be a question. Is Akuma going to take his Tekken stuff into Street Fighter 6? Is he going to take those weird demon flip options he only got in Tekken?
Yeah, I was about to say, if they add those, then that will be the quintessential like Akuma version for me, because like the Tekken 7's Akuma is one of my favorites because of the demon flip options. Yeah.
I remember what it was. An Oni in Street Fighter 4, his forward heavy punch was that bit where he jumped straight up in the air and then come down with a ground pound.
Yeah.
And then Street Fighter 5 and Tekken 7 both wanted to give that to Akuma, but they both did it in different ways. Street Fighter 5 kept it as a normal, while Tekken introduced it as an option out of Demon Flip, correct?
Yes, and I much prefer the Demon Flip version because it felt more intuitive.
Yeah, that's I wonder how that's gonna work then.
That, and I think it also gave Akuma just a normal S punch out of Demon Flip and the normal S kick that is not a dive kick.
Right, and couldn't he, when he did the normal kick out of Demon Flip, didn't it cause a little bit of a little corkscrew?
Yes.
For, yeah, the corkscrew for comboing out of, yeah.
So yeah, like...
yeah? I wonder if Akuma coming now is going to be different for some people who are probably now used to Akuma being the dominant, oh god, please no character in Tekken. And they're going to see Akuma in Street Fighter 6 and get flashbacks now.
Yeah, like there's gonna be posts online. It's like, you know, warning: 5 more days until Akuma.
I love it because Akuma's been good in most of the Street Fighter games he's been in. I don't think he's ever been top tier in a game that he wasn't banned in. But he's always been good. But Akuma in Tekken is just so many people going, no, God, no, please, no.
Yeah. Like I kind of hope that they do some like storyline stuff with that, where like he cut his hair and went to do Tekken 7 for getting ready for Street Fighter 6.
I mean, they don't even have to go that. Just have him make some kind of side comment about, like, I had an old promise I had to follow up on.
Yeah.
It's such a silly thing to get stuck on, but I am stuck on that white hair he's got in that art, though. Because are we getting effectively playable Shin Akuma?
I mean, it seems to imply it, because I don't think that he would have, like, you know, it's been a while and he was starting to, his hair was starting to turn white in Third Strike, but this is like, what, 3 years after it? Probably not, probably a bit more, but still, like, you know, it hasn't been that long since Third Strike, and, you know, there was always a thing of, like, is Akuma's hair going white, or is he just getting closer to reaching his true power? Because, you know, Akuma's hair isn't supposed to be red. So...
Yeah, Akuma, like, I feel like with Akuma... Well, the thing for the longest time has been that Shin Akuma is him not holding back, right?
Yes.
Which calls into question, is it supposed to be then that by the time of Street Fighter 6, the Street Fighter roster, the rest of the Street Fighter roster has caught up so that Akuma doesn't have to hold back against anyone anymore?
Maybe.
Because, I mean, even out of the newcomers, like, the only one out of the newcomers who seems like a baby is Lily. And while Lily is, in fact, you know, practically a fucking small child, if she is not actually a child, Lily, they nonetheless have Dhalsim say, like, hey, wait a second! What's that I smell?
It's blood.
It's blood! Oh, it's my blood! Shit!
But yeah, like you say, like Lily has a Satsui no Hado from what it looks like. So
I got fucking jump scared by that when I beat Lily's arcade mode.
But then this too means that because like we for the longest time thought that the Satsui no Hado can only be accessed by people who practice on Satsuken. But I guess not.
Well, the thing is, how many people that have used Unsatsuken have actually had it? It's really just been Ryu and Akuma, because there was Evil Sakura, but she was only in Marvel vs. Capcom, so she never appeared in Street Fighter proper.
There was also Evil Dan, but the same problem was.
Oh, come on!
Yeah.
Dan doesn't even fucking really properly use Ansatsuken. He just makes shit up.
Yeah.
Well, Violent Ken is not using the Satsui no Hado. He's just been mind controlled by Bison to fucking lose it.
True. Which I'm still hoping that eventually, I don't know when they would do this, but I hope that.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Do you know what game set the precedent that someone other than an Ansatsuken user could take the Satsui no Hado?
CVS?
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Oh, yeah, CVS, Rugal took it. That's right. But after Rugal, Thanos took it, remember?
Yeah.
And sadly, that was never playable, which... on one hand, Infinite is kind of an embarrassment, and I get that. On the other hand, if there ever was a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 or 5, I would so want it to explore the idea of Shin Thanos.
That's just a sentence in a Shin Thanos.
We need Thanos doing a Raging Demon.
Yeah. He does the Raging Demon. It is genuinely just one-to-one remake of Rare Akuma. Raging Demon. Because he has the Infinity Stones, so he can do that.
Well, hang on. Raging Demon, you know how when you do the Ultra Raging Demon in Street Fighter 4, Akuma gets those 4 Japanese symbols all around him?
Yeah.
That come in one by one? Imagine that, but instead it's the 6 Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Okay, Marvel vs. Capcom 5. The only way we can beat Thanos. Sakura, you have to let out the beast. The two of them Raging Demon against each other. It opens up a wormhole in time.
It opens up a wormhole. Wormhole. Fucking Hanzo Hasashi steps out.
Yeah! If there's anyone that would step out of the portal and it'd be, oh fuck, it would probably be Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
And still, now he has to take Quan Chi with him. They're just lovers by this point.
that or another one, I guess that could be a like surprise would be like Chris. Like Orochi Chris.
Orochi Chris. I thought you meant Redfield. I was like, wouldn't Chris already be there? Would Chris see another of himself step out of the portal and be like, wait. Hang on.
Yeah, we have Boulder Punching Asshole Chris, and we have Resident Evil 5 Chris.
We got skinny little Resident Evil 1 Chris.
Yeah.
Enter the Chris-verse. But, like, they're not different timelines. They're just Chris's from different points in time. RE1 Chris is just terrified of how huge the other Chris has got.
There's a montage of him punching rocks.
The final enemy at the end of time is the ultimate Wesker riding a boulder.
Yeah. Dante from Devil May Cry is there to support him.
Like, this is getting crazy.
Like they actually just do the twist reveal that the guy from RE8 is actually just Dante.
All right.
Oh shit. But yeah, like you know, it would be funny if they did Marvel vs. Capcom and then at the end they just tease, hey, Marvel vs. Capcom versus SNK.
Okay, well, see, that I don't know what the hell to think of that, because it's hard enough. Like, several of the Street Fighter characters have had a hard time in Marvel vs. Capcom, right? Because there are plenty of times you pop open. You play Ryu or Zangief in Marvel vs. Capcom, and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, what does he actually do? When this roster also features fucking Sentinel. But, like, KOF, that's another one. There's some KOF characters that I think you could turn on the crack and make them insane in MVC.
Choi.
Yeah, Choi. Yeah, Choi would be fucking awful in Marvel vs. Capcom. Jesus Christ.
He just straight up has the John Tall Bane. He doesn't need to charge it or anything. He just has it without token input.
Yeah. He would. I mean, Wolverine does too. He just can't do it multiple times in a row. He just does it once.
That's the thing. Choi can. So he can just leave the ground once and never come down.
Hulk can do it twice.
Ah.
One of his few redeeming features.
No, I was gonna ask why they never put John Talbane into Marvel, and then just suddenly a Wu flashed in front of my eyes, and I went, yes.
Oh. Yeah, that's I guess with Darkstalkers, they always wanted to go for get Morrigan and Felicia because, of course. And other than that, if we can get anyone, get a weirdo, right? Which you've got a lot of choices for weirdos in Darkstalkers.
And they go to
John Talbane, yeah, Senko is weird. I mean,
I don't
visually,
know. To me, she's not that weird. I mean, she's random bullshit go, but like that doesn't make her that weird. Like Victor is a lot weirder to me.
Victor. Well, the Victor's definitely weird just because the ass grabs. But like. Talbane, Victor, like both of them are pretty, like both in terms of design and in terms of visuals. Like it's Frankenstein, it's a Wolfman visually. And in terms of gameplay, Talbane's kind of just he's Blanca once Blanca's popped Spirit of the Jungle or whatever. Though obviously he's doing it before Blanca.
Then he also has a flash kick for some reason.
Yeah. Even though he also has a little woo straight up anyways. Nonetheless, there you go. And Victor is just a grappler.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty well just his gimmick. But well, he's a grappler, but come to think of it, he does have the Balrog charge punch rushes.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like if we just want to have a weirdo from Darkstalkers, to me, Anacaris makes more sense because he is weird.
Yeah. I mean, well, he was there in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but they kind of cut out a lot of what made him weird in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You remember?
I don't remember that they cut the weird stuff that made him weird out, but I do remember that he was in 2.
I believe he did not have the float. He did not have the backdash teleport, I believe.
Ah.
And most importantly, if he did the air fireball where he turned you into a smaller version of yourself, into a small little cutesy gimmick thing, the curse move, where in Darkstalkers, everyone had a unique curse sprite they turned into. In Marvel, he sadly turns everyone into a little paper doll, and that's it.
Ah.
Which is disappointing. Not only, like, I get that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was a very rushed game on a very small budget, which is why there's only like 3 or 4 characters that are actually new in that game. But it would have been, my God, if there was a Marvel that again had Anacaris, could you imagine the fun they could have with the roster with that move, you know?
Yeah.
He does that to Akuma, and he just turns Akuma into his gym fighter self.
Alright. Akuma comes out. Capcom announces the Season Pass 2 for Street Fighter 6. First character, Amingo. What do you do?
I main Amingo.
As you should.
The first thing I do is I tell Pink.
Yeah.
And Pink goes to Evo.
Like, I think if they announced Amingo for Street Fighter 6, all 3 of us would immediately start at least secondarying Amingo.
It's the tournament of all Amingos.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and warn you. I think there's a good chance that in the future I'm going to give up on the whole try to avoid characters that Addy plays thing, and I'm going to probably pick up Akuma in Street Fighter 6.
That's fair. I mean, I picked up DJ for a bit before I went, I like Guile better. I know him more.
Yeah, DJ's fun, but he's pretty weird in Street Fighter 6.
I mean,
DJ's always been a little bit weird. But
DJ is fun, but at the same time, like the reason I know how to play Guile is because I play King of One. DJ is like 2 degrees of separation away from King of One, so.
Yeah. They have a charge down up input, and that's about the only similarity. Jesus Christ, it's been forever since we played KOF.
Yeah.
We need to get Pink, and we need to do a KOF, the history of KOF series.
Sure,
of
I'd be
videos.
down for that.
Go by year and see what the fuck's down.
Yes. Play 2002 with the weird ass teams that are 4 people and a striker separately.
That was 2001 or 2000. 2002 went back to the 3-man teams.
Right. I guess it was 2001 then, because I remember I bought one of the older games on PS4. And it has that system, and I went, what?
Yeah, it's super weird. And if memory serves, 11 has 3-man teams, but you can call in your tag teammates as strikers like it's fucking Marvel.
Yeah, that's a thing that a lot of those did. But whichever one I bought,
the ones I've put the most time in were 98 and 2002, neither of which allowed you to do that.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, like whichever one I bought, I don't remember. I remember that the teams were all weird because the teams were all weird because the strikers, some of them don't make sense. It's just like, here's alternate universe Kyo Kusanagi. Here's Saishu.
Yeah, that would have been around the time when there was 5 Kyos.
No, it's not even that, because that would make sense. No, it's not. It's not Kyo 1, Kyo 2, Kusanagi, or K-Dash. It's just Kyo Kusanagi wearing a completely different outfit, and he has different moves.
Okay, so I'm going to guess you play as Biker Kyo, or not Biker Kyo. Biker Kyo was like the KOF-13 era. But you play as like the Kyo with the weird cross shirt.
No, because that was
jacket.
No, because that was later. No, you play as Schoolboy Kyo, and you can call in Striker Kyo, who is alternate universe Kyo, wearing like something closer to like a biker jacket. Like it's like Bam Bam Bigelow's outfit, but white.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That was also the only one where you could call in that weird undead ninja sorcerer dude. What's his name? Like, Guy or something. What was it? Shit. The guy who was like actually the... Oh, phew. Excuse me. Actually supposed to be the nemesis of several of the characters, but he's not been playable in any of the games.
I don't know which one.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to take a good while to look this one up.
Yeah, Ninja Sorcerer doesn't really narrow it down with KOF.
No, it doesn't. Oh, Jesus Christ. What do you mean Rugal Bernstein was a mid-boss?
Are we talking about like placement, or are we talking about quality? Cause
okay, so I've pulled up KOF 2000, and apparently the way KOF 2000 worked was that there was the playable characters, and then each had 2 strikers they called upon, or sometimes just 1.
Yep.
Like, for instance, Lin, who can only call upon IG, or Seth, who can only call upon Goro Daimon? Why?
Why not?
And the mid-boss for the game was Kula, who could call on as her strikers Candy, Foxy, and Rugal?
They're dead.
What? Why?
They're dead.
That not like there's several layers there of like the immediate thing of like, okay, but what's the association between these 2 characters other than they've both been bosses? But also, Rugal's dead!
I don't question it. Orochi power.
Oh, that's what it was. I was trying to remember if the dude had a really oddly like American and mundane name. Ron!
I simultaneously remember and don't remember the character you're talking about.
I'll get the picture of him in a minute. He's like a problem for several of the characters. Hang on.
But yeah, also
that's right.
Also check like alternate Kusanagi.
Yeah, I'll check that in a second. But like, do you remember this dude? I put it in the voice chat text.
Oh yeah.
This dude who was like the nemesis of several people, but like never actually playable. And like the only time he had a sprite was when you could call him in as a striker. In 2001, he would come in and he had, if the animation ever works on Discord, apparently it won't. So you get 3 little flecks of sprite there. But like you could call him in as a striker in 2001. Yeah, the sub boss was Original Zero, who could call him in as a striker. And then in 2002, they got rid of the striker system. But if you still chose to play Original Zero, you could still call in Ron as a striker. Like, Original Zero was the only character who kept the striker system.
Yeah, I remember. Can you find alternate Kusanagi?
I'm looking that up, but oh god, King of Fighters 2001 was the one that had fucking Ignis as the final boss.
Oh.
King of Fighters alternate Kusanagi, is that what you told me to input?
I guess. I don't remember what the actual like striker was called or whatever. I think he was just called Kyo Kusanagi in the game. But I remember looking him up while I was playing the game, and the character description literally just said Kyo Kusanagi from an alternate dimension. What do you mean? Since when do we do that?
Wait a second. Okay, I started checking the lists of strikers. And KOF 2000, K-Dash had a striker who was called Another K-Dash.
Ah, yes, alternate K-Dash. Oh, yeah, it would have been Another Kyo then, I guess.
Hang on, now I'm looking it up. Okay, yeah, Another K-Dash. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, here's Another K-Dash, who apparently, I guess they didn't explain the lore of it at any point, but the SNK wiki says he's probably just another Kyo clone. But this one's not black.
Yep.
Ah, shit. Okay, now I'm going to try and find... Where's Kyo on this roster list? Did Kyo skip KOF 2000?
He might have. I don't remember.
Who the hell is Seo Kirishima?
Is he the guy I'm thinking of?
Yes, you are. Yes, he is. Yeah, okay, hang on.
Yep, that's the guy. Yep, so yep. What's his story?
Let me look it up. And I love we're talking about this, and this hasn't stopped as a practice. It's so goofy, but it hasn't stopped as a practice. What the fuck?
What?
Seo was the original prototype design for Kyo way back in '94, before they decided to turn him into a school kid. And they just put him in as a striker because fucking just having a laugh.
I see. You can understand my confusion.
And similarly, Jun-Hun in KOF 2000 also has his prototype concept art design as his own striker. Kang Bei-Dao is Jun-Hun's striker, but he's actually just prototype Jun-Hun.
Ah.
Man, I hope Jun-Hun comes back. He was cool.
Do you mean Jun or do you mean Jae-Hoon?
Jun-Hun. The stance switch Taekwondo character. The guy that was Kim's rival. What?
Is it Jhun?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jun.
Jun-Hun. Yes. But man, like this goofy shit of calling in yourself as a striker has not stopped. Because Mortal Kombat 1, 3 of the fucking characters on that roster can call themselves as strikers.
Yeah.
And the Kung Lao combo is actually really good, and people call it Kung Lao squared.
I hope the both the normal Kung Lao and the cameo can do the spin.
Yes, actually, that is the one move they have in common.
Does it glitch out the game?
No, sadly, no.
It should. Ed didn't see your video fast enough.
Yeah.
Patch it in.
The funny thing is they actually do two different versions of the tornado. Like, the gimmick was that they got rid of some playable Lao's classic moves to give to the cameo, and in exchange gave playable Lao some new moves. Like, Low Hat is a cameo move, as is Teleport. It's weird. Main Lao doesn't have Teleport anymore. If he wants it, he has to choose cameo Lao.
So I have no reason to play Kung Lao in MK11 or whatever 12, I guess.
Yeah, you can put the Kung Lao teleport on anybody. Like, not only can you put the Lao teleport on anybody, he still has the old gimmick where if you hold the button, instead of teleporting, you teleport up in the air instead of teleporting on the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, they both do tornado, but Cameo Lao does kind of a weird lunging forward tornado that pops the opponent up and is also invincible on wake up. And the playable Lao has a version of tornado where he spins up and gets to have a very big radius that covers a good chunk of the screen and blows the opponent to the other side of the screen. So a fuck you, get off me button.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. And yeah, it's funny the decision, okay, well, we're just going to move these moves onto a cameo for a playable character. And so we know when they release what is probably going to be Janet Cage, she's going to have the force balls. Because that's the one move that Johnny doesn't have.
Yeah.
Fucking Janet Cage. If there's anyone that would team up with themselves, it would be Johnny.
Yeah.
Or Kano, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. Ouch. Yeah.
Okay, they add in Ermac. They add an Ermac cameo. It's just Ermac making a shadow clone, more or less.
Oh no! Noob cameo with playable noob. There are 3 noobs on screen.
Okay, noob cameo with smoke. It just
noob.
Yeah.
Hang on. Noob mirror match with noob mirror match cameos.
Yes.
There are 6 noobs on screen right now.
Imagine if you went with the noob smoke, with smoke with noob as a cameo, and it gave you a grab infinite.
Oh no! Well, at that point, you're playing fucking Ice Climbers.
I mean, that's how it worked in Deception or the Alliance. I forget which one.
I do remember something like them having some weird shit they could pull off, and only them.
Yeah, I think there was a character where if you punch someone with a forward 1, then you could immediately just cancel the animation of the punch and go into grab, and that was an infinite.
Oh, that's right. That was pretty stanky, but that's still not the stankiest weird broken Tekken 3D fighting game ever. Because do you remember what that was?
What?
Had I ever told you about the X-Men Next Dimension Sabretooth tech?
Yes, I think so.
His air throw, which does not actually work properly and just has an infinite hitbox.
Yeah.
I need to pull it up on YouTube and see it again, just to see if I remember correctly. Oh, the Trevor cameo released today. Sweet. I'll have to try that out later. Anyways.
I heard that was Trevor, from fucking GTA.
if we were in the talks of what other video game franchises, Okay, so they've recently David Zaslav said in a investor meeting that Mortal Kombat 1 they intend to support for 4 years.
Yeah.
And the thought occurred to me of, well, if they intend to keep the pattern up of every DLC season having some crossover characters, some guest characters, they're going to run out of action movie and horror movie icons to get to pretty quickly. They need to bring in some new fresh blood. Could you imagine Trevor?
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, let's make a list of characters they need to add then. Akuma, Iori, Walter White as a science fiction character with Hell.
Yeah, bringing back all the fighting games R bits. Apparently, I'm now Googling. Sabretooth has several infinites.
Nice.
Because that's just the kind of game X-Men Next Dimension was.
Yeah. Okay. Imagine this. Fucking Mortal Kombat makes a big deal. We're announcing a guest character. It's Baiken. How does she work?
Oh, in Mortal Kombat. Oh.
Because, like, you know,
yeah.
Because you know, I could go with one of my guys that isn't Baiken, but Baiken is the most likely out of them.
If there's anyone in Guilty Gear that would be a big fan of Murder.
Who would be a big fan of Murder?
Happy Chaos is a fan of Murder, but I don't think he could fit in with a Mortal Kombat aesthetic. Well, he might. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of a toss-up.
Baiken would be too weird of one just because sheer nature of when you look at the desexualized female roster and they're pretty normal. And then there's Baiken who walks in and, like, her boobs cause earthquakes.
Yeah. Like, I also just, like, I like to imagine that one of Baiken's brutalities is just summoning a tatami.
Oh, God, you know they would. Well, that's, okay. See, that's the thing that would be really fascinating about, like, having other fighting game characters appear in MK. Because the brutalities, right?
Yeah.
Because tatami, like, that one would be pretty simple. She just tatamis you and you go flying straight up in the air. Then there's just 3 or 4 seconds of nothing happening, and then your character falls back down and explodes, right?
No, see, my idea for tatami was she does tatami gaishi, and the tatami just appears in, like, cutting the guy in half.
Which way?
Horizontally.
I was almost thinking like it winds up cutting off the front half of your body, but the back half is still left standing. Like, well, shit.
That would make sense, but I forget how she summons them. If she summons them first horizontally and then they go up and down, or if they just get summoned vertically.
You know she'd have a brutality for her air dust, where she just blows your upper half off.
Yeah.
Oh God, Akuma's brutalities.
I mean, Akuma's one of Akuma's brutalities would just be the Raging Demon.
He does the Raging Demon like normal, but this time instead of you being left prone at his feet, it's just a pile of bones. What would a Shoryuken brutality look like? Would it be better for him to Shoryuken your head off, or him to Shoryuken you in half?
I feel like that depends on what you want. If you want actual brutality, then Shoryukening you in half would be better. What I kind of would prefer if he Shoryukens your head off in the manner that, like, he does the Shoryuken, your head just flies off, spine included, and then the body just flops down into the knee sitting pose.
I like the idea of uppercutting a guy so hard his spine flies out of his neck stump.
Yeah.
Okay, brutality Tatsu. He starts spinning and he kicks you off piece by. Okay, you remember that old reptile fatality in Mortal Kombat 3, the goofy looking one, where he'd eat the opponent piece by piece by piece?
Yeah. Do that with Tatsu.
Tatsu, and he starts from the top and works his way down, kicking off parts of you.
Yeah, that could work. Or they could just use Demon Armageddon as a thing and just have him cut you in half with the Tatsu somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, Kogoku Retsudan.
Yeah, that one I could. That one, yeah, he could probably like palm you on top of the head and just cut you in half that way. Yeah. If they put a Yori in Mortal Kombat, all of his fatalities would start with him going Orochi.
Yes. Like he would have one brutality that's made in measure.
I mean, his brutalities would still have to be him not being going Orochi because he still has to just do regular moves. But
yeah,
Yori would have a kind of lame brutality where he shoots the little thing at your feet and you just light up and burn up and then you turn into a skeleton.
Yeah. He does this very awkward dorky cool pose.
Yeah. And he says something like, "Learn from this."
Yeah. I mean, they could also have fun with the weird animations with Iori because, like, if you don't do a fatal, then Iori just like walks off screen, and then we go outside like some building complex, and he's just feeding the cats.
Okay, Iori's brutality when pose, the laugh.
Yes. Conversely, Akuma's non-fatal win pose would just be him leaving and opening up shop somewhere.
Yeah, he's brooming with the apron on.
Yeah,
he's shooing Dan out like he's vermin.
Yeah, not even that Johnny.
Yeah,
or someone who wasn't in the match, I guess, randomly chosen.
No,
Shao Kahn. He's just shooing Shao Kahn away.
Chronica.
Yeah.
Chronica appears. You are not meant for this timeline. Shoo, get out of here. Get out of here. None of your bullshit, not here.
I have fruit to sell.
Yeah.
I
mean, Akuma, let's be real here. Akuma would be happier in the Mortal Kombat world than the Street Fighter world.
True.
Akuma sees the Armageddon pyramid show up with 1,000 people fighting in front of it.
He just gets a large smile.
Yeah. He's doing the fucking stupid let's fucking go emoji thing.
He's pogging.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
Conversely, what Street Fighter character, which Mortal Kombat character would be the happiest in the Street Fighter world?
I feel like Kuai Liang.
Yeah, finally a world where people aren't such assholes.
Like Kuai Liang, maybe Reptile, I guess.
Reptile would be depressed to be in the Street Fighter world. There's definitely no lizards there. Well, I guess now he's Mr. Demon Fucker, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But the only demon in Street Fighter is Akuma, so
he'll work with that,
I guess.
You know Kano would land in the Street Fighter world and within 5 minutes would be working for Shadaloo.
Yeah, within 5 minutes he'd be taking over Sagat's spot.
Yeah, Sagat, they dumped Sagat and Sagat's just sitting in a cardboard box outside of Shadaloo headquarters.
Bison's like, look, Sagat, it had to be done. It's only cost effective that we remodel your statue. Since you only have an eye patch. To be Kano.
Yeah. Look at him, he's got knives. And a cool robot eye. Conversely, you know that Vega would not like Kano.
Yeah. That would be a funny like story beat where Kano and Chun-Li team up against Vega.
Yeah. Yeah, Kano can only really hang out in any one universe for too long before he just winds up betraying everybody.
Yeah.
Kano gonna Kano. Alrighty.
Okay. Fucking Mortal Kombat 12's newest DLC character, Oppenheimer.
God, no. I mean, I've always thought Mortal Kombat needed a Phoenix Wright type character who, even like in his brutalities and his fatalities, is killing you on complete accident.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure Oppenheimer has enough material aside from the atomic bombs.
I mean, I feel like this won't happen, but I'm forgetting his name. Whatever, the main antagonist of JoJo Part 8 could fill that role. Because his entire thing is that you can't damage him. Whenever anything negative whenever you try to do anything negative towards him, or anything negative tries to happen to him, he gets redirected. So he wouldn't even really need to fight. He would just be redirecting your aggression towards you, or just have, you know, accidents befall you during the entire match.
The lucky Ted fighter.
Yeah.
Fate. There's a banana peel under you. You slip on it and break your neck. Fatality.
For no reason, your entire spine pops out.
Yeah. After the fatality is done.
Yeah, you fall on your neck. You fall on your neck. And then your spine just pops out.
Yeah. At a certain point, you slip on the banana peel, and just touching the banana peel causes your spine to fly out. I gotta say, there's a Reiko fatality in Mortal Kombat 1 that I think is one of the worst fatalities in the game. It feels like a Mortal Kombat 11 fatality because it's just brutalizing the opponent for no reason. But it does have the amusing effect that he sticks the opponent's forearm, like the forearm bones, into the opponent's chin and then rips their spine out, causing them to fall over and be left in a pose where they're like, you know, got their hands on their chin and they're resting on their elbows, like a cute, trying to look like you're trying to look cute on your bed. You're posing.
Yeah.
And because he's ripped their spine out with their skull, it causes the person's face to also dent in slightly, and it looks very goofy on most of the roster.
You mentioning JoJo, it reminded me. Dio would fucking work in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Dio would have a great time. Okay, conversely, what Street Fighter character would hate it the most in Mortal Kombat?
Ryu. No honor.
There's no honor, but there's still fight. The hardest, the truth is still at the heart of battle.
Yes, but there is no honor, and honor must remain in fight. Like, Ryu is one of those things where depending on who writes him, I guess, he would hate it or he would not, because if he's more fight driven, then he wouldn't hate it, but if he cares about, like, you know, representing honor and shit, that will never work.
Yeah. I guess, like, part of it also is just going to come down to, like, I mean, Ryu would treat, like, the entire Mortal Kombat world like Bison.
Yes.
A mild inconvenience for him to deal with before he gets back to the path of self-discovery through Fist. I have to be punched in the face more before I understand myself.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who would hate it more, but but like most of the characters are just like Justice, and you know.
Yeah. I mean, Vega would fucking lose it with the amount of Uggos that Mortal Kombat has.
But yeah, but that's Vega's main motivation. So
I mean, Street Fighter is a world mostly comprised of fucking hot people.
I guess.
Aside from like Rufus and who else? Blanca.
Okay. They announced that Mortal Kombat announces that there's a Street Fighter guest character. It's El Fuerte. His fatality. Fatality is cooking.
Oh no! He gives you a taco, and the opponent just whimsically bites into it, and he explains afterwards the ingredients he put in. included, and I thought cyanide would add a nice almondy taste. He lists off like 5 different incredibly fatal ingredients, and the opponent just explodes. Their head explodes.
I don't know. I feel like it would be funnier if he just lists off completely mundane stuff, and then they just die anyway.
He lists off mundane stuff, and the opponent's like stomach disintegrates, and their intestines just fall out.
Yeah, like it's not that what he's using is bad. He's just cursed.
And just for good measure, after the opponent's dead body falls over and El Fuerte is scratching his head like, it wasn't that bad, was it? Then afterwards, the corpse shits itself.
Yeah. Who would hit Karin? I guess maybe.
Yeah, that's not exactly a world of much elegance. Conversely, if she dragged over Birdie with her, I think Birdie'd have a good time.
Maybe that depends on which Birdie, Fat Birdie or Alpha Birdie.
I don't know, either one, because Alpha Birdie is more of a thug, but Fat Birdie would still have fun. Oh god, Fat Birdie in Mortal Kombat, would have a brutality where he eats a pepper and he just burps so much fire it burns the opponent to death.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, Birdie in Mortal Kombat actually could have a brutality where he kills you with a banana peel.
Yep. But I had this image come to me. Imagine, they don't even announce shit. There's just a new cutscene. You watch the cutscene. Goro's fighting someone. There's someone who's taller than him. He's having a hard time. Zoom out. It's Abigail.
Oh no! If Abigail was confused by the Street Fighter world...
Yeah.
Oh, good lord, Abigail could not fit on most of the stages.
I'm just imagining that they announce a season pass. The season pass consists of Abigail and Kusaragedo.
Oh no! Okay, Kusaragedo would actually fit super well, but nonetheless... Okay. Okay, come to think of it. Conversely, let me ask a similar question. What character in Street Fighter feels the most like they're a Mortal Kombat character who accidentally fell into Street Fighter? And why is it Necalli?
Because he's lame.
Yeah. Necalli feels like they could just make a trade. Like, Street Fighter gets somebody from NRS gets somebody from Necalli. And nobody would ever realize that Necalli came from Street Fighter.
Yeah. They trade Necalli for like Kano. Or like I don't know who they could trade that would fit in and not be like a major character from MK.
Well, I mean, we could say like the dumbest possible trades. All right. We've traded Necalli for Jarek.
Fucking Kai.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there's a little bit in Mortal Kombat 1. Ashra mentions Kai in this universe is Master Kai. And is apparently the one training her and a few other people in the whole... what's it called? Well, he's training them as monks. So I guess Kai in this universe is the master rather than the student.
I thought you were
I guess...
Yeah?
Oh, go ahead.
Thought you were gonna say Kai in this universe is massive. He's just large for no reason.
Okay, is he like just 10 feet tall or is he morbidly obese?
I figured 10 feet tall.
A fucking 10-foot tall. Like, he's still a monk.
Hello, Pink.
He's still a... Hello, Pink. He's still a black monk. Still a black monk dude with, like, fucking cornrows. Pink, what'd you do with your channel?
Well, my house is full.
Okay. So we need, okay, we got a giant monk, we got a giant Canadian, we got a giant weird zombie Japanese ghoul. At what point does Mortal Kombat in this perception turn into fucking just a big boy fighter?
I like me some big boys. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But not big boy, not big boy like Yokozuna, big boy like Giant Gonzalez, Pink.
Oh, that's less exciting.
This is went off the rails.
Okay, imagine they announced Season Pass 2 for MK12 and it's fucking Giant Gonzalez.
Oh no! I mean,
okay, actually though, if they announced fucking Yokozuna for MK12, I would pop.
I mean, there's several wrestlers that I'd pop for. I mean, John Cena's already going to be in the game.
True.
It's a fact.
So imagine if there's any wrestlers that could still fit in Mortal Kombat, you could see them totally just killing somebody, and would work perfectly with Cena. It's Orton. Could you imagine Orton in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
I mean, if it has to be people that you think could kill somebody, it would have to be like Haku.
Oh. Okay.
The guy,
I thought you were about to go in a worse direction there.
The guy who killed Bruiser Brody. Fucking Benoit. No one.
There we go.
No, like people who could kill but didn't yet. Haku.
Haku. Hogan's claimed before that Haku came very close to killing Beefcake, but Hogan being Hogan, naturally he fixed the situation and talked the wild beast that is Haku down, because Haku is definitely some kind of animal that needs to be controlled. Good work, Hogan.
I mean,
by the way, if you ever
it's just rude as Beefcake.
Yeah, that's true. Haku could have eaten him, and that wouldn't have mattered. And anyway, if they did, I gotta mention, imagine Orton in Mortal Kombat. You know the punt will be a fatality.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess I'm just trying to imagine like who could actually they could actually like Haku, fucking Stan Hansen, I guess. Maybe Funk, and Funk's thing is that just like you do fatalities to him and he just comes back.
I mean, Terry Funk spent a considerable amount of time walking around with a branding iron.
And a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And he was lit on fire at one point.
Several times.
In terms of hardcore wrestlers, that's not too difficult at all. Like, Sandman fits into Mortal Kombat better than he does into actual wrestling.
I mean, the problem with Sandman is that they would have to pay rights to enter Sandman.
Just get the Motorhead version.
I mean, they would still have to pay rights for it.
Free.
Yeah. Just call up Triple H. He'll call a favor.
Yeah. Call up Lemmy from the dead.
Yeah. Lemmy's ghost appears into the studio executive.
It's fine, man. Let him use it.
All right. So, Pink, you got anything coming up on the channel this week?
So the past couple of weeks I've been very, very busy, so I've got an entire backlog of many hours of stuff that I've recorded, both with you and by myself, and with that Mike, and with probably a bunch of other people. But I have not gotten around to actually getting that set to upload, so hopefully I'll get off my ass and get that done this week, since Thanksgiving is coming to a close, freight-wise, at my job.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'll be a little less tired after working 12-hour shifts every day.
All right. And what is one thing in video games that you put in so much work for and was just completely disappointed by? Guys, I'll go ahead and tell you what me and Addie's answers were. Because my answers were twofold. One, playing through most of Homefront the Revolution just to get to the Time Splitters 2 emulator that actually sucked. and the other collecting all the like golden legendary gears in Injustice 2, only to realize, wait, I fucking hate this game.
Oh yeah, I never even completed all the sets that I really wanted that game because yeah, that was brutal.
And Addy, your answers were Assassin's Creed Odyssey in general, and also pretty well Yakuza 7 in general.
Just the level progression in Yakuza 7.
Yeah.
So, what is something that I worked super hard for and was ultimately disappointed with the outcome?
Yeah.
Honestly, I spent a lot of time playing Super Mario Galaxy, and ultimately found out, I mean, as soon as I unlocked Luigi, mind you, ultimately found out that, you know what? I really don't like this game. I was not a fan of Super Mario Galaxy. A lot of stuff they implemented was very cool for the time, mind you. Very innovative. Very landmark achievements there in that game. But overall, I just played it. I played a lot of it. I beat it. I unlocked Luigi. And then I sat back and thought to myself, you know what? Not a fan.
Yeah, I gotta say, when I tried Galaxy as a kid, I also was kind of not getting the hype.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's probably my most notable thing ever of a game that I've beat the whole way through and went and did extra stuff, you know, because you gotta unlock Luigi. That's just mandatory. Luigi is life. And yeah, ultimately I just walked away from that game feeling like, meh, didn't like it. Wasn't a fan. Wouldn't play it again. And then they released a sequel, and I didn't play it again. So yeah, that really goes to show you what my mindset was there.
And they nonetheless made the decision to stuff Rosalina into everything ever going forwards.
Well, Rosalina is hot, though, so that's justified, but still.
Well, it always sticks out to me. People bring up the Mario Kart 8 launch roster, because now they've finished out the DLC. And I'm always astounded to look back and go like, okay, we're missing several noteworthy characters, but we got Rosalina. Why?
We didn't get Diddy Kong until this final update.
Yes, that's the one that's fucking confounding. Because like, not only is he one of the more iconic characters, also he had a racing game of his own.
He had his own racing game. He had his own franchise for a little while there. Like, what did Diddy do to deserve this amount of disrespect?
Tax fraud.
Why? What? No, that's Yoshi. But we've got fucking Strawberry Metal Peach over here. That was a priority. And like, then there's also the thing of like Metal Mario, which is like, okay, was it really that cool that one time we did it in Smash that we need to keep bringing back Metal Mario?
You know what? I think it's quite telling about Mario Kart 8 that it took until this long for them to unlock Funky Mode.
Yeah. I mean, Funky Kong. People have been requesting Funky Kong for damn near everything for years now. Yeah. Like, Funky Kong, I think, is in the same pool as Geno. If Nintendo asks, hey, who do you want to appear in this? The first two answers will always be Geno and Funky Kong, and then number 3, Goku.
I don't know. Yeah. I feel like Funky Kong is more on the lines of like Waluigi, where people want him because he's a meme. Once he's here, cool.
Well, he's also along the lines of Waluigi in terms of he's not a character Nintendo has to share with someone else. Because the issue with Geno is that he has to be shared between Nintendo and Square.
Yeah.
But Funky Kong and Waluigi are indisputably Nintendo characters. Yeah, anyways.
They're gonna drag Sakurai out, and he's gonna be in a Waluigi costume. And he's just gonna, like, they're just gonna take pictures of him, and that will be Waluigi in Smash.
It's not something that gets talked about much because you don't really want to think about it. if they ever did do a Smash 6, like, everybody knows that the majority, if not all, of the guest characters are going to get cut.
Yeah.
Odds are Nintendo's probably going to try and go back to having a purely Nintendo roster so they don't have to worry about fucking with other publishers and developers.
Yeah.
And we don't really want to talk about that because a lot of the coolest Smash characters are guest characters. But you know that if they did try to do a Smash 6, one of the things they would try to do from the jump to say, hey, pay attention this time, is, hey, we got Waluigi.
Yeah.
Okay. What if they find out a way, they get one of the guest characters' playstyles in and just reskin it as Waluigi?
Yeah,
Who gets reskinned into being
Bayonetta.
No, that could be very funny. I imagine Waluigi just being a normal ass Shoto. He just gets Ryu's moveset.
If you're gonna keep either of the Shotos, you keep Ken. Come on now. Like, they're largely the same character, except Ken gets the crazy kicks and the fiery Shoryu. And other than that, they're the same character, which really makes Ryu fucking lame.
I mean, that's just Ryu
He
in every
always
game.
was.
Yeah, Ryu's just... Like, I've been lately playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because I saw those lobby shenanigans videos, which are fucking hilarious. And I was popping up Marvel vs. Capcom 3, putting a bit of time into it. I was like, I should give Ryu a try again. And yeah, well, he has the beam. He has the beam Hados, and those are still cool. But other than that, Jesus Christ, that is a lame-ass Marvel character. And he was lamer in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Anyways, didn't we have another topic we hit?
They gave Waluigi Solid Snake's playstyle.
You know, I feel like that wouldn't be a hard one to japes up for Waluigi, especially considering Snake can blow himself up pretty easily.
And I feel like with some of them, like it wouldn't be as funny because you could make sense of it. Like, say they give Waluigi Sora's playstyle. He's a genie.
Yeah. Well, the issue with Waluigi is that all of his moves would have to be sports moves.
Yeah.
Because he never appeared in any of the actual Wario or anything else games. He's just there for the sports games.
I do wish that they would let Waluigi develop more as a character, but at the same time, it's kind of the meme is kind of that he's not developed. He's just Waluigi.
Well, we've had 3 Luigi's Mansions now, so who knows if we'll get any more. But I always thought
Waluigi's Chateau. It's just a fucking mess.
Waluigi's Shanty Shack. It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah. There's a meth lab on the side with them. They don't talk about it ever. It's just there.
Yeah. There's a sex swing inside, but Waluigi just says it's just for therapeutic purposes.
Yeah. Yeah. The other topic, I guess, that we talked about was about patch frequency, because Pink, this got brought up because Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter have the exact opposite like ideology when it comes to patching, where Mortal Kombat puts out major patches like monthly, whereas Street Fighter 6 puts out a major patch once a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we talked about yeah.
Oh, I was just talking about like there was a specific instance of like Cyrax got nerfed because he was the most popular character and he has a button that admittedly is kind of brain dead. But now that they've nerfed him, everybody just moved over to Kung Lao because that's kind of just how the NetherRealm player base works. And the argument has become like, well, are we just going to keep nerfing whoever's the popular character until we wind up with a roster of no one but shit?
The answer is yes.
Yes, the answer has been yes in several. We need to remember
Siege.
that Pink has experienced Overwatch
And Siege.
and see Siege is the one that's confounding. That's the one that gets me. It always is the one that disgusts me. Like the nerf to mute is the same to me as Wesker, where it offends me. We have built this perfect character who cannot be overpowered by nature. What he does is he lends a strong tool to the wider team that does not cut off the opponent's ability to do anything, but it forces the opponent to think more about what they're doing and not just go for the optimal strategy. Let's nerf him. What? Was the problem that we like the optimal, obvious strategy?
Probably.
We want to stop asking the player to think so much and just brute force it? What?
Yeah, like last time we went back to playing Siege, I enjoyed the deathmatch mode better just because that made this everyone's equal and it's all just skins. Like,
I hate that. Skins. Like, I love big rosters of playable characters with big differences between them. That's the magic of the game to me.
See, like, I agree, but at the same time, with the whatchamacallit, the shape like that part of the game is in wasn't good, in my opinion. So that match
at that point, if I just want to play a kill everybody shooter, at that point I just open like Quake.
I mean, I'd still say there's differences because, you know, in Quake you have to find the guns and in Siege you don't.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
And, you know, yeah, of course there's differences with COD as well because no kill streaks.
Yeah. But yeah, like to me, the deathmatch mode was more fun than the main one just because the balancing of the actual main mode of Siege didn't seem as fun in its current state, or, you know, whatever state it was in when we last played. And that's pretty much it.
Fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pink, I guess what are your thoughts on the frequency of patches? I said that I think a good medium would be like 6 months, because you keep the game fresh, but you also don't like over change things without giving it time to rest.
True, and that's a valid point. I am not a fan of frequent updates because I don't like learning something. Like, let's say I were playing Mortal Kombat right now, which thankfully I'm not. Let's say I like Torak or whatever his name was, and he's really good in his current state. It's great. I'm loving it. It's like McDonald's or Burger King, whichever one uses that slogan rather.
Long day, huh?
Yeah. It actually wasn't, but it's been a long week.
Kentucky Fried Donald's.
Today was actually a slow day because my half the truck didn't even show up, and I don't know when it's going to show up. But yeah, not my problem. That's a problem for future me. What a sucker!
Half the truck didn't show up. You make it sound like they just at some point, at some fucking
the front of the trailer showed up, but the rest of the trailer is still on the highway.
At some point, they ran into fucking Virgil, who judgment cutted the trailer in half.
But yeah, back to the Mortal Kombat. Let's say I'm playing it. I'm enjoying this side cameo character who pops up and does super powerful things. And then as I'm getting into the groove of the game and learning all the fun things I can do, then they patch it out. And now it's like, oh, everything I learned, everything I know and love, it's gone. They killed it. They buried it in the sand. Now I gotta go grab a windblower and try to unsurface it. Or resurface it.
Yeah,
so
that's definitely
there is a certain amount of fun you get from learning games and then relearning games after patches. But I'm not a fan of a patch like every other month or every month. Yeah. I much prefer the longer stretches of time where maybe something is stupid broken, maybe something should have been fixed a long ass time ago. But I honestly much prefer to have a game in a kind of unbalanced state for a longer amount of time. Because even if you don't like it, like Diva a long ass time ago in Overwatch, Diva was an absolute monster, an absolute unit of a monster for several months.
Everyone who was there for the Overwatch beta can remember the holy terror that is nerf this.
And then the disease gnome fart.
Oh God.
I was gonna ask if Pink knows the video I'm referencing, but he probably shouldn't. Even if he doesn't, he shouldn't.
I do not, so we'll keep going forward. I did not play the beta of Overwatch, but yeah, Diva was still... I can't imagine much change between beta and launch, because she was an absolute monster on launch with her self-destruct. Now, over time, people did start to wise up and be able to run out of the way of the self-destruct, but yeah, she was still pretty monstrous. And several months later, I don't know if she got buffed or if everyone else got changed to a point where Diva was just like the most optimal tank in the game, but not as an actual tank. She was an optimal tank who was very proficient in flanking because of her jetpacks. They had a super low cooldown, and it could take her super long distances, and her deflective shield thing that had a very minimal cooldown as well. And when I say minimal, I mean it had no cooldown because it was on a utility bar. So, and that was back in the day when you could keep pressing the left trigger or the equivalent to keep activating and deactivating the deflector shield.
Oh boy.
So basically, the utility bar was supposed to give you about 10 seconds of shielding, and if you flickered it, it gave you about 35. So yeah, she was just absolutely monstrous in all regards, and for a long time, it didn't get changed. And while I hated facing Diva at the time, it was still kind of fun because you realize she
was dynamic.
Yes, this is dynamic, and it's a dynamic mess. And even if you're losing to a Diva, you're only losing to the best character in the game. It's fine. We'll move on. Life goes on. So I much prefer the instances of where something is broken to a point that it becomes quote-unquote memeable, where everybody in the community knows, hey, this is kind of busted. This is ridiculous. This needs to be fixed eventually. But for now, it's not fixed. For now, it's kind of funny. For now, this best player in the game offers you something that no other character on the roster can do. So I much prefer that type of thing.
It reminds me of, there was a video released by Leon Massey. I believe the name of the video was Tale of Two Top Tiers. I'll actually look it up right now just to make sure that I get it correct. And it was a very quality video discussing how different Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Melee were. Not even talking about the stuff like tripping and shit like that, but the major difference by sheer nature of the fact, Tale of Two Top Tiers. The major difference that Melee and Brawl had in terms of who is the top tier character. Because in Melee, it was Fox. In Brawl, it was Meta Knight. And both were very clearly at the top. There are characters you can play in either that are not Fox. You can play Ice Climbers, you can play Falco, you can play Marth. But Fox is the best character. Brawl, similar situation. But Leon Massey was talking about how they wind up having very different situations competitively, which thankfully Smash is a game that has a lot more offline content, so it's not like Overwatch where if the meta is super terrible and there's just not much you can do about it. But he was talking about how Smash Melee, Fox is the top character, he's the best, he's very oppressive, he's disgusting to fight against, but he's high speed, he's got a lot of expression, you can play Fox in a lot of different ways. He has a lot of stuff that you have to put in a lot of work, a lot of time to get good with, those crazy reflector combos.
Yeah. And
both him and the opponent feel like they have so much capability to change up the way they attack and their movement and their strategy, so that even though the Fox is the best at virtually everything he can do, he still, even a Fox versus Fox mirror match, you never know what you're going to see.
Yeah.
Because they both have so much tremendous capability. And it's a high-speed gameplay. The game, you don't get timeout wins with Fox in Melee.
Right.
But Brawl, well, Meta Knight has by far the best air maneuverability in the game. So good, he can throw himself off of the side of the stage and then fly underneath the stage and fly up and then land on the other end of the stage.
Yeah.
And the issue very quickly became Meta Knight had a lot of moves where he was basically surrounding himself with one big hitbox where you couldn't approach him.
Yeah.
He did have very good aggressive moves if he wanted to. But if Meta Knight wanted to say, fuck you, you don't get near me, he could just turn into a hitbox, and alternatively, he could just keep flying under the stage where no one else could reach him because no one else had good enough maneuverability to reach him down there.
Yeah.
So Meta Knight became the most disgusting top tier because he just needed to get a single kill and the game was over. He could then just lame it out for the rest of the match.
If he really wanted to, yeah.
And like the thing you're saying about Diva is kind of reminding me of that. Where like, yeah, Diva was a disgustingly strong tank, but she was a very dynamic, interesting one where she could do crazy movement shit. It did not feel like it's like, oh, here's Diva again. I guess she's just going to do the same Diva shit that every Diva does. Not so much. Whereas now with Overwatch, it can often feel like that.
Yeah.
With so many of the top picks. Like, okay, well, guess we're getting formulaic here. Everybody do your roles.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's another thing to note with stuff like that, because like I've also noticed this with other fighting games, not just Street Fighter 6, but that most I don't know what word to use, whatever. Like that's the one that most bothered me is when, you know, like people do a long combo, it's fine, but if I face 5 people and they do the same long combo, then it starts getting annoying.
Yeah, that can definitely get to be part of it. Now, I think, in fairness, on the Cyrax thing, I think that's part of it. Yeah. Is that playing online? I played MK1 online a good bit. I got up to the mid ranks, but like the issue with Cyrax was getting to be that he was just everyone was picking Cyrax and then doing throw out a button, press Cyrax, throw out a button, press Cyrax, and that was getting quite annoying. Though I also, when you look at it from the perspective like, well, we've got alternatives here, I would take that over, well, let's just move on and nerf every cameo on the roster. Like, no, I'd prefer to keep my strong shit, even if it means I have to deal with annoying shit from other players, you know? And looking at Overwatch, I didn't play Diva. I didn't like Diva. I picked up Diva like twice, and both times I went, ew, this character is not for me. Blah, no. But there were several characters, Lucio, that I played on Overwatch, Lucio, who I really fucking love, Lucio, who were pretty strong, Lucio, but not quite as dominant as Diva was, Lucio. And in the end, you know, Lucio, they wound up nerfing them down to hell, Lucio, and I didn't get to enjoy them anymore, Lucio. And I refuse to say who it is, Lucio.
Yeah,
I had very similar feelings about that.
Yeah, I remember when the Overwatch was free for a weekend. Pink and I played for when I played for the first time. I was like, hey, I want to play Junkrat, and then I got to play Junkrat like maybe in 2 games. So I played Diva, and I actually liked Diva. And then the next time they had another free weekend. By the time they had nerfed this, so that was cool. Like by the time I think we played again, Pink. Correct me if I'm wrong, but by that point, Reinhardt was the only tank.
Yeah, by the time we were playing together again on the next free weekend, it was probably the hard tank meta, the shield meta, where it's Reinhardt, Orisa, and Sigma, who all could throw out shields. So you eat through one shield, and there's another shield, and there's another shield, and then Reinhardt's shield is off cooldown. Those were some dark days.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I remember. Okay. Did Wrecking Ball come out before Brigitte?
Shortly, I think so. I remember playing Hammond before Brigitte came out.
I think Oh, really? I thought Hammond came after Brigida.
No, Brigida came. Brigida was the next character in line after Hammond.
Ah.
Because I remember we played. There was another free weekend because that's the only times I played Overwatch. But I remember us playing, and I distinctly remember we were on the Japanese stage, and I turned into a ball and then just proceeded to yo-yo myself off of the stage, more or less.
Yeah.
And while it was
everyone's first time playing Wrecking Ball is a suicide, guaranteed.
And while that was going on, y'all were talking about Brigida getting revealed, I think.
Okay, because my memory of Overwatch was having a good time. Oh, Brigida, this chick looks cool. It's Torbjorn and Reinhardt together. That's the coolest. I love both those characters. And then she came out, and it was, oh, this is a bad sign. This is a bad fucking sign. We're in trouble. I'm in danger.
Yeah. Like you know the thing that I keep saying about Overwatch and we'll keep saying is that like my one thing was Junkrat, and I will forever love Junkrat. But you know, after long nights of prayers to Hi-Res, they put in Danzaburo into Smite, who is Junkrat, so I don't have to play Overwatch anymore.
Oh man, you gotta play Demo Man.
I did. When we played
Explosions.
Yeah, when we played TF2, I did play Demo Man.
I need to play more TF2. The world needs more TF2. Valve disagrees, but I disagree with Valve. If fucking Half-Life 1 got an update, god damn it.
What if Gaben just suddenly appeared and said, Team Fortress 3? And then the apocalypse started happening. he spoken the forbidden words.
The 3 just keeps getting larger.
Yeah.
It ignores all laws of physics. It just presses through objects until it eventually reaches the core of the Earth, causing the Earth to detonate.
And after it gets large enough, it starts flipping between being a 3 and the red error sign from Gmod.
And when it's all over, when the world ends, we all see loading next map.
Yeah.
What if you got to heaven, but God said, loading next map?
I feel like the right response to that would be just the that GIF where the smiley is pointing up, like crying to the heavens and disintegrating.
Yeah. Loading 2 fort. Wait. What? Okay. In the afterlife, what video game level or map would be your personal hell for you to be transported to?
Oh, hell.
What little notification do you see loading this map where you go, oh no?
There's a couple. I mean, I forget the name of it, but the place where The Witcher 3 takes place.
Yeah.
The world from Shadow of the Colossus.
Ooh, I mean, there you could make, if you want to be alone by yourself enjoying nature, that's actually a pretty good one.
I mean, you would go mad just because of the lack of people. That's basically my thing.
I mean, hey, 1 or 2 of the Colossuses are friendly. Colossi are friendly.
I suppose
go find them, hang out with them.
Let's
go ride on Phalanx's back. That'd be fucking sick.
Yeah.
I've got a couple answers. One of them,
any of the Souls bogs.
Oh no.
Oh no. Well, okay. Would any of the poison... what would be the least shit of the poison swamp? Demon Souls Poison Swamp is the worst. That one would be the... Oh god, why?
What else would be like hellish? Okay, Super Mario Sunshine bonus levels.
Yeah.
Those are so great, though.
But just imagine that you see the loading screen, you scream, you load in, and then like the longer you spend, the louder the acapella gets.
Well, that's the best part.
Loading dev room. Ooh. Hang on, what's the worst siege map?
Favela.
Yeah.
Oh!
It probably isn't even Favela anymore, but I have nightmares of Favela still to this day.
You are going to Brazil!
It just says loading map Brazil.
Oh no!
Okay.
Okay.
Completely personal answer. Greece.
Yeah, what time period?
Ancient.
I think you figured out your hell and Pink's heaven.
Yeah. Honestly, you could probably put me down anywhere in the ancient times, and it would be hell for me.
I'm just gonna run off into the woods and become a druid.
Yeah.
From time to time, I'll appear at the local village speaking prophecies that the trees are gonna get up and eat you. I'm gonna go back in the woods. I'm gonna drop a bunch of mushrooms. Get really fucking high.
Okay.
The player character will eventually find me, and I'll explain to him the quest to retrieve the magical rod.
And then you two fuck.
Yeah. Oh, I'm naked to begin with. The moment I enter those trees.
Okay. Just generally a place that would be bad to live in. Tekken. Just anywhere in Tekken.
Oh! Remember, Jin is the ultimate hero for genociding the world's population and still failing to destroy the devil gene.
Yes.
Pink, did you say Hades earlier?
No, I said RPD from Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. That... Oh, good lord. That depends a lot on who's the killer.
Nurse.
Now loading into RPD, also featuring Scratchmere Myers. And Infinite Tombstone Myers.
Oh. Well, all you had to say was Michael. I could load into anywhere, and I just hear 7 minutes. Oh, I'm done. All right, let's figure out if Dead by Daylight has an input for snap-own neck. You know that would be a heavily used button if they added it.
Let me find the suicide button.
Yeah. Hey, Gary's Mod does have that.
I know. Okay, imagine if a game added a secret code. There's 3 unbound fucking whatchamacallit functions. One of them is suicide, one of them is genocide, other one is homicide. If you press all 3 of them together, you summon Sabu.
You do a moonsault to nothing. What video game would be most improved by a suicide button?
Blair Witch.
Yeah. It probably just is the Blair Witch.
I mean, actually, never mind. The entire game story, like all like every other Bloober game, game story, is just a lead up to. We should have bound the suicide button.
Yeah.
Okay, it wouldn't be improved by it, but it would be funny. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
he just falls over.
I mean, we've all at some point fucked up while doing air tricks and got the faceplant animation. Could you imagine though if Spider-Man actually... Remember, Spider-Man 2 had fall damage. The original Spider-Man 2 had fall damage. Imagine if the new game still had that, and sometimes Spider-Man just dies like that.
Yeah.
Like, near a decade of heroics being Spider-Man swinging around New York, and one day he just forgets to press the right trigger and he smacks on... He lands on top of somebody's taxi cab and just fucking dies. Nothing even going on. He's not fighting a supervillain. He's not chasing anyone. He's just swinging to the supermarket. And he forgot to load the web shooters that morning. And he just dies.
Amazing.
Like, that's Watchmen, the fucking superhero that died because his cape got caught in the bank door. So the robbers just shot him.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to think of like funny answers to what game would be improved by a suicide button, but everything I think of it's like, well, technically there is one in the game. It's just not a button. It's a story element. Like, you know, Silent Hill 2. You could joke, but like, it's one of the endings.
It is, but it's slightly less cinematic for James to only get halfway through the mystery than just like, no, I'm done. Bang.
Okay, speaking of superheroes, Batman would be very funny. Like you get a special animation. He goes, you know what, Joker's right, and then just hard cut to Bruce hanging.
Well, remember Batman Arkham has the game over screens where a villain comes up and gives a speech to you.
Yeah.
Imagine those like penguins just showing up and going, "Oh, what the fuck? We didn't even stop. What the fuck?" Two-Face shows up, and he's like, he flips a coin. It comes up tails. He also kills himself. Super Mario, there is a button that just... It's still like a regular just die button, but since it's Mario, Mario still jumps up and flies off the screen.
Yeah. I was gonna joke Sonic, but that was a thing that existed technically. It wasn't a button, but if you waited, I wanna say like 5 minutes, standing in one spot in Sonic, one of the original ones, I forget which one, Sonic would just kill himself.
How?
He would jump off of the stage into his death.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Right. He's like a fucking shark, I guess.
How odd.
I remember the Deadpool game did actually have at one point in one cutscene a suicide button when Cable's going on a long monologue and it starts turning. They blur over it so that Cable gets turned into a fucking teacher from the Peanuts. Womp 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 womp. And the button prompt appears on screen. End the pain.
Oh, I wish I bought that game.
It's not very good, but it is like it's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like not quality gameplay, but it's fascinating in terms of comic book adaptations. Like video game comic book adaptations have always been so much more faithful than just about any other adaptation. But in terms of having the sheer energy of the 2000s Deadpool, who was the whatever random bullshit, fuck it, who cares, insanity, like it was a completely accurate adaptation of that.
Alright, imagine if they added a suicide button to Assassin's Creed. Like during the original trilogy. You just see, like, I don't know, Altair just cut his own neck, and you just hear this one going, wait, what? No, no, and he's just phasing out of existence.
Yeah. What? That one, like, I mean, the Assassins and the Templars already feel pretty close to being cults. Any of the Metal Gear prequels, if you do it, you get a time paradox screen.
Yeah.
Snake, you've caused a paradox! Now I'm looking over at my game collection.
I am doing that too, and I'm just looking at, like, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Oh no! Sam, I can't go on any longer. Stick. I don't know, some of those games I'm looking at and I was like, yeah, that's probably just kind of a realistic thing to do in some of those situations. Again, Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm in the RPD with Mr. X. That's it. Bang.
Alright. You want the deep cut? World Super Police.
What? Okay, wait. Do you just, like, swerve the car so that it rolls and you die in the roll, or does he kill himself inside the car?
I guess there's just like a self-destruct in the car or something. I don't know. Like you press the button and the car just blows up.
Okay, wait. Mass Effect 2, past a certain point, if you make the weird douchebag decision to trade out Samara for Morinth, there is a certain point in the game where going past it, you do have a suicide button. At any point, you can go to Morinth and just go, let's do it. And you get the game over screen, which should totally have someone like Liara or somebody narrating over it. Shepard, what the fuck?
I mean, all right. Here's the cheap one. Just looking over my games. SmackDown versus Raw.
Well, out of all the things that have occurred in a wrestling ring, that one has not occurred. Tommy Dreamer threatened it once, but
I mean that wouldn't have been in the ring either. That would have been next to the announce table, I think.
Probably yes. Oh my god! Now I'm looking over my Steam library. Total Rome 2 actually does have a suicide button.
Yeah.
In the politics screen, whatever leader you're playing as, if your honor drops low, there is always a suicide button, but it is blanked out most of the time. But if your character's honor rating drops low enough, because it's Rome, once you're at low honor, you can press the suicide button.
I like it.
And your character just kills himself and it passes on to the next down the lineage.
I like it.
I love it.
You know, the funny thing about this discussion is I'm looking over my games and I look at like Mortal Kombat Deception and I go,
It actually did have a suicide button, yes. Yep. And now I'm also now looking at games that actually do have a suicide button, like Team Fortress 2. That's another one with a suicide button. The soldier has one of his taunts. He just simply grabs a grenade off his belt, pulls the pin, and just blows up.
There's also one that it's just kind of topical, like Bully.
Yeah, we're not hitting that one. Persona, oh.
Darkest Dungeon, that's just a part of the game. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Hades. There was a button to end the run early and go back to the hub. Wasn't there in Hades?
Yes. I don't think it's an actual suicide button, but you can end your run prematurely.
Yeah, it's just that Zagreus just zips back to the hub instantly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now imagine this. You boot up the TNA game. You press the suicide button, it just summons suicide.
Yeah, it makes one. Like Gary's mod-esque, it just drops an NPC into the world and he starts wandering around.
Yeah, there's now just one more Christopher Daniels walking around.
That's not good.
Start mashing the button. You can, like there are so many suicides. They're filling up the ring. They're overflowing.
Yeah.
It's an exciting night at the Impact Zone tonight.
Soon there will be enough suicides to put on all of the audience in the fucking hospital with their burning hammers.
You wind up with an audience of all suicides. Yes. They're all sitting out there in the seats. Suicide replaces Mike Tenay and the old Don West. All the wrestlers in the ring are suicide. The referee is also suicide, wearing a black and white striped shirt.
The bikini babes from AAA Heroes That Ring have been imported for some reason. They're also suicide.
It's a swerve. It's a swerve. Cut to backstage. The general manager. It's suicide in a suit.
Yeah. Oh no! Suicide spotter has been attacked. Cut to backstage. There's suicide interviewing suicide. Or suicide is beating up suicide in the background.
Yeah. The fucking work crew in the background moving around crates and checking little notepads. Also suicide, wearing like workman's clothes. The infection is spreading. The program wraps. Okay, next TV show. It's Spike, so we probably got, I don't know, UFC. All the UFC fighters are suicide.
I also imagine, like, Dixie Carter's music hits. Suicide comes out.
In a slinky dress with lots of makeup.
Yes.
Dixie Suicide has been backstage banging all the other suicides.
Oh, no.
I mean, I guess in this universe, there's a reason they call him Dixie.
Yeah.
But...
There has to be... Okay, who's the funniest one to not be suicide?
Scott Steiner.
Yeah. We got the reverse battle royale. It's 10 suicides and also Scott.
Yeah. He's also introduced as Suicide Steiner, but he doesn't have the fucking clothes on.
No, it is actually everyone. Like, they're not all Christopher Daniels. They're all just the same people dressed as Suicide now, but Steiner refused to put on the costume.
Yeah.
We got everyone in the audience to agree to it. There's a bunch of small children and old people wearing the Suicide costumes.
For whatever reason, they just let a dog into the arena. It's also wearing a Suicide outfit.
Hulk Hogan is dressed as Suicide. I'm not Hulk Hogan, brother.
No. He's doing the hand gestures, but because Suicide doesn't speak, he's just like fucking.
The crowd is dead silent.
Yes, and
the commentators behind the booth are just gesturing.
Yes, Hulk Hogan dressed as Suicide comes out. He starts wildly gesturing, doing the Hogan gestures. He's not saying a word.
Yeah. Flair and Jay Lethal come out as Suicide. They're wooing at each other silently. Suicide Flair rips off his tights and then elbow drops them.
Sting comes out with mariachi makeup on his Suicide outfit.
Look, in the crowd, that's Sting. No, wait, it's Suicide. Cut to the back. There's a giant fish bowl with suicide inside. Who could be the next one to join the Aces and Eights? Oh no, it's suicide.
Oh man.
Who could have expected this? The knockouts are suicide. We have stuffed Awesome Kong into a skin-tight suicide jumpsuit.
Like, cut to backstage. One of the executives is there talking with Dixie. Both of them are in suicide outfits. The executive, the executive gestures that he doesn't think that changing the company name to Total Nonstop Suicide is a good idea.
Well, alternatively, Total Suicide Action.
Suicide Nonstop Action.
Hang on. The TSA. I think that's been taken.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting spot in a wrestling ring. I need to check what's inside your asshole.
Wasn't that Viscera's gimmick?
Yeah, oh God, stuff Viscera in a suicide costume.
Good luck with that.
We're gonna need extra large.
Big Daddy ass.
RVD is just turned into S.
They recorded his theme song and it goes suicide the whole fucking show. In fact, they changed the fucking intro music to that.
Fucking Bischoff is going out, and Bischoff's trying to explain, I'd make more money if I was unmasked. It's how it worked in WCW. We made more money with Ray if it was unmasked, right? Unmask me. I hate all these masks.
I also like the idea that in the period when TNA rebranded as Impact and now they're back to being TNA, in the time when it was Impact, their name would have just been in big bold letters suicide.
Fucking LAX. But since they're all in suicide costumes, they don't look any different from everybody else. So the Latino gimmick is kind of passed.
Beer money, or just suicide in cowboy hats.
Didn't Bobby Roode start off with a Rick Rude knockoff gimmick?
Yes.
Does he like sexily unveil from the robe and it's just a suicide jumpsuit underneath?
Yes.
That's a great gimmick right there.
And I was gonna joke about the Motor City Machine Guns, but I'm pretty sure they actually were suicide at one point. Both of them.
Probably, yeah.
They might have been, honestly.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think out of all these stupid answers, I think if they had told Kurt Angle in his Percocet era, your suicide tonight, Kurt would have been like, hell yeah!
just like hard cut. Kurt Angle found dead.
Yeah. Kurt Angle found in several pieces surrounding the ring.
Uh,
Oh boy.
talk about living the gimmick. But
Yeah. Ah.
there's also just some like great images that come from this, like Booker T, Kevin Nash, Kevin Nash.
Oh, cruiserweight era Kevin Nash.
Yes. I mean, just imagine all of the main event mafia in suicide outfit.
Again,
Sweet,
minus Steiner.
Yes, minus Steiner.
Steiner cutting the Steiner math promo, but he's just surrounded by 4 suicides is somehow even more interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
suicide Petey Williams doing the math.
I mean, like if a recording surfaced of that, then you would just have to question if Impact is secretly like a cult.
Wait, who's this? Who's our new general manager? It's Suicide Cornette. Oh goddamn! But he's still got the glasses on.
Yeah. Instead of the fucking the broken Matt Hardy stuff, they should have went fucking TNA's the storyline should have been enter the Suicideverse.
Does Jeff Hardy as Suicide still have the stupid fucking fishnet whatever's on his arms?
Well, I thought you were gonna ask if he still has the thing on his as that means that he's free in prison.
I forgot about that.
The answer to both is yes, by the way.
Yeah. He's just got stuff down the back of his jocks. Oh, speaking of fucking with one's jocks, hey, Ronda Rousey jumped to AEW.
Good.
Really?
She was at Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Ring of Honor sounds more her speed, to be honest. Yes,
Does it?
Ring of Honor is nothing nowadays, pretty sure.
No,
I mean, yes, it's nothing.
Gone are the glory days of 2004.
I forget which company does the Smashing Pumpkins band own? AWA? Or
NWA.
yeah, that seems more her speed. Brodus Clay.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, just to make sure I wasn't going crazy, I looked up Ronda Rousey's Wikipedia page. I forgot about this. On October 11th of 2023, Ronda Rousey announced she had retired. On October 26th, 2023, Rousey came out of retirement.
I has the Terry Funk way of retirement.
Good Lord.
Man, Terry Funk died recently. Do you think she's got his face plastered on her trunks yet?
Probably.
Oh, man. Oh, man. See, Pink, I would think you'd be in favor of that, because Ronda always tries to steal one thing from each of the wrestlers she tries to steal the soul of. She might steal being set on fire.
Okay, but imagine if Ronda stole moonsaulting to nothing to the outside of the ring. She just does it because it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, for her to be jumping to AEW, like, it's transparently just that she wants to go over and have fun with Marina Shafir. But, like, Jesus. What's Jessamine Duke up to?
Good question. Were you expecting an answer?
No. Anyways, nothing shuts down a discussion like Jessamine Duke.
Yeah. I mean, the latest AEW news that I heard that I was like, hey, that's a thing, was Christian and Edge and Copeland are feuding.
Edge
and Copeland.
We were just earlier talking about teaming up with yourself. Adam Copeland calls in Edge as a striker.
Yeah. Adam Copeland's name on the character select series, another Edge.
Yeah. The team is often called Edge Squared.
Yeah. I mean, what shitty ripoff name could they have given Edge? Blade?
I'm pretty happy they just...
Corner.
Good Lord. Yeah. The only news I already mentioned to Addie that Hangman drank Swerve's blood for some reason.
That's a good way to get many diseases.
Yeah. Well, I guess the question was asked ahead of time. Hey, Swerve, you got any blood diseases? No. All right. Why do you ask? Good question. See you tonight.
No real specific reason. Just curious.
Yeah, obviously, this is setting down the building blocks so that Edge can reunite the Brood.
With Adam Page.
Yeah.
Gangrel was just drinking. Gangrel was just drinking fake wine. He didn't drink actual fucking blood.
What if he did and he just worked you?
My God, that would be a twist. Dracula's real, but he's just having a good time wrestling and doing porn.
Yeah.
Hanging and banging.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's, also AEW signed Will Ospreay, which I was surprised.
Did they?
Yeah, I think that was a surprise to Ted and Gog and no one else. And Ted was only surprised because he just wanted to make a point about saying we should get rid of all Japanese wrestlers.
Who's Will Ospreay?
I've been hearing seeing a lot of rumors about Will Ospreay going everywhere the past couple of months. So the fact that he actually legitimately signed somewhere is a shock. Am I shocked that he signed with that company in particular? Not really.
No, like there are people saying, "Oh, dude, it'd be cool." Like, well, would he really fit there? No.
Right.
People saying, "Well, if he signed at TNA, he'd be their top star." Yes, but that's assuming that.
Yes, but that's TNA. Anybody can sign there and be the top star off the bat.
Yeah, and Will, at the end of the day, is a fucking mark-ass work rate guy who wants to go hang out with his friends. So where do you go do that?
That's a good point there.
Yeah. I did see another one of those chicks from Stardom gave an interview saying, like, "Oh, hey, I've had a good time in Japan, but I think it's time I explored America. Hey, isn't Kyrie up to something cool?" And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Has Triple H gone over there and just been like, yes, this roster. It's a good roster. I think I'll have it. Something may be going on, though, because apparently the guy who runs Stardom actually did a little thing saying, "I think that WWE is getting a lot right and we should imitate them in a lot of ways." which is, for one thing, considering that Stardom's mostly been working with New Japan and AEW, is kind of immediately questionable there. Like, okay, but it's also just Japanese wrestling. It's usually considered pretty controversial to say the Americans are right about this. We should imitate them.
Right.
That's kind of why Genichiro Tenryu got poo-pooed out of the business for a while. Well, among other reasons. And Kawada got poo-pooed down to being a jobber in All Japan near the end as well. And then Mizawa jumped in there, so like, well, shit, Kawada, back to the main event, buddy. Funny how that happens.
Yeah.
Man, the other day I saw for the first time, I could not believe it. I had seen before that in Fire Pro, people give Rick Rude the Quad driver, the Gonzo bomb, whatever you call it. The version of the pile driver where you don't protect the guy at all, you just fall down on your knees and drop them on their fucking head.
Yeah.
And I was confused, like, why give that to Rick Rude? I only just like a week or two ago saw a GIF of where he actually did do that to Warrior once.
Oh.
I think that's like the one recruit match I saw in full. Because Mean Gene was like, hey, this bitch was funny. And he was right.
Yeah. Rick Rude just deciding, you know, I'm done with this Warrior guy. It's time to kill him.
Yeah.
Vince, I'm going to go out there and end Warrior's life tonight. Okay, pal. All right. So, was this a podcast?
I suppose so.
I don't know what to think about it.
I don't know what to think.
I don't. Bye.